Well, we're here in Xi'an, WE's hometown. Let's see how the IG fans over here feel over here.
30秒到达战场，碾碎它。
Well, volume of the clean feed, as always, ever changing. Sure, we'll chuck it to about that. That'll be fine, probably, maybe. I feel like I've been putting the volume a little too low recently, weirdly. Put up a little bit more. I'm sure it'll be fine like this. Reminder folks that it's going to be a solo cast for the first series of the day, just to make sure that Sam's feeling okay. I think he's coming down with a bit of a cold or something. So, I'm keeping my distance to make sure that I'm not catching it too easily. And Sam will come in a little bit later and he'll do the second series because I'll have to pop off to do LEC doing the first series of the day over there as well. So lots of casts for me. You know, I've got to be on track for doing the most tier 1 casts of any caster in the world actually the last couple of years. Keep missing from Mako. See what the return's like from Vampire. Of course, the Nymaera is really good in laning phase. What's the chance that people pick up the Vayne jungle? Has that actually been buffed? I can't imagine Vayne jungle is going to be that popular in pro. Playing around, you know, basically 0cc jungle is not fantastic. Not that great at dueling that early into the game. Amongst other things. Level 2 hit by Vampire and Taeyin. Using the heal to make sure the root doesn't land. They will get access to this farm. They're not actually losing any CS there. They lose the summoner, but it's a spellbook support. Technically, you've just used it for the sustain, so it's not actually like you've lost any value there either. That's something which I do appreciate. Vampire uses this as well, of course. That's something which I appreciate about what we've seen from Spellbook. People are now more easily using their summoners, which I think is actually quite a valuable thing. Because if it gives you full value, it gives you full value, you know? Gala charging up his Q again. Ward taken in that brush. Root finally hits onto Mako. Gala can trade back a little bit. Mako, ooh, lands a Q there. It means that Gala can actually pop the Q down himself, actually, as well. And you can see that, you know, the damage coming through from the auto-attack reset from that Q is really quite heavy, actually. Way's been clearing his way from bot, top to bot. The other side for Monkey. I'm not sure I love the Wukong pathing towards the Rumble Galio lane, but I suppose it is the Shy. It's quite vulnerable to a gank too, isn't he? This will be a really fun series to track two of our more fun narratives about WE, which is, which is more powerful, Curse? Winning game 1 of a series, the WE Blessing, or, you know, the 1-2, or, of course, the other side of this, which is, can WE take a game off of IG? They've taken a single game off of them the entire year. They're 1-11 versus Invictus Gaming. Root landing onto Barb. Oh, magical journey away, should be safe. Vampire, ooh, can't stop the recall on Gala. Monkey spotted in his bot side jungle, don't know where he is. Slowish early game. What's happening in terms of these lanes, even across the board, to a fault actually, it's within a few CS everywhere. Shy doing quite well in terms of the matchups. Is he getting an unpowered auto down? No, doesn't want to aggro the minions, of course. Zoning off from the full wave there, though, actually, the Shy doing quite well. But Cube's laning phase has definitely been quite suspect. Now, my worry later into the game is, yeah, Cube's pretty bad at laning, which adds to this problem. But W are so bad at supporting their side lanes. And my worry is that even with the global of Cube, if they attack Cube himself, I do just wonder whether WE fall apart through side lanes. It's just not a part of the game they're very good at playing through. They're good at objective fights. They're pretty good at laning phase through bot lane and sometimes through mid lane as well. Cube a little more suspect on that level. But when it starts coming around to, you know, Karis and Cube having to pick up farm and sides, I do wonder what happens. I think a lot of people don't talk about that right now because they'd rather focus on W's flashy plays, which, yes, very, very entertaining. But if you're going to sit there and actually analyze, you need to be very careful about that sort of thing. No Vision and River pushing up, waves crashing in. Oh, Taeyin and Vampire over the wall. Do they land the Q? Do they need to? Flash away from Taeyin already. Vampire flashing early. Stun misses, but double flashes away from the bot lane and over push from Taeyin and Vampire without necessary vision. What's happening with Monkey? He's on Gromp, actually, of all things. Rookie's about to hit level 6. He's going to potentially hit that Shockwave. No. Sometimes you do see Orianna pull that directly on the level 6 mark. You see the Leandries and the Seraph build come out respectively. No Rod of Ages Orianna here today. Dragon not started, worth noting. NCS lead in bot lane will be reduced to about 5 when the wave crashes in. No early fights just yet. Just the summoners blowing from Tay and Vampire. Now, IG, they are not immune to a random early game throw. And WE have a very good early game. Good wave clear Shockwave there. Gets a good chunk as well. Does he miss the cannon? Hang on, a good QW could kill hit. Monkey's quite... Well, he's... Oh, gonna get wall stunned here. I don't know if this is the best CC chain. Monkey has flash, has W, gets stopped by the W. That... Oh, should have flashed early. One more auto will kill it. A bad flash from Monkey. And honestly, oh, even worse, Warrior Trickster. Good reactions by Wei. The Poppy into the Wukong, we called it. It's been quite powerful. What did they ban away? They banned away the Shinzao. Can't remember the other ban which they had in the second round of picks and bans. Was it the Pantheon that made it through all the way there? But I really think that this was a dangerous jungle matchup to give over. Monkey's gone down. There's no flashes onto the bot lane. Wei will clear a bit of vision out here, make sure that the crash is fine. Gala getting the kill too is a bit of an issue for WE. Because that Yunara, if they ever don't catch the Yunara, that is a huge issue. Not a bad combo there from Karis. Did end up getting the electrocute. Something Karis going through in the mid lane. Does jump forward. Does he get the shotgun? He does! Very, very close. E-Flash not quite in range. Rookie getting tagged by that skill shot. Now Karis doesn't have himself. Well, now, good ult away from Wei. Can he get the smite in time? Yes, he can. Good disengage. Any fly through from Taeyeon? No, not level 6. Dragon secured. No kills. So this is the play which led to that first blood. Uses the Warrior Trickster early. Wanted to make sure he didn't get stopped by the W after. Gets wall stunned. And despite the good trade, you know, his bot lane doesn't have prio. Bot lane overpushed, lost their flashes, and don't have prio anymore. You can't make plays like this because Vampire and Taeyeon got ganked earlier. It's a bad, you know, the overpush from Taeyeon and Vampire was poor, doing it with zero vision. But then later, Monkey not realizing he's unsafe to go into bot side river. That's the capitalization of that error again, isn't it? Not again. First time it happened. If it does happen again, we can say again. Who has the better draft? Well, I personally think IG have the better draft. While I think the engage from W is not bad, and I think that they can, you know, close down Yunara with a good flash cyclone, the Galio over the top, XYZ. You've got great disengage from Bard and from Poppy. I think the side lanes are good from IG. Now they might, hang on a second, we do have grubs going down. Is there gonna be any fight for these? No. Well, I think it does need to be a little bit careful here. Alright, third one's going down. Gala's level 6. The Shy's around the corner. Vision of him given by the clone. No one farming up bot lane right now. Wave crashing in top. IG, for once, choosing to let something go without a fight. I say that, occasionally they cross map, but wasn't expecting them to give that up without a fight, not going to lie, especially when some of the... Look, even though WE very much failed to close out games versus IG, they do get early leads versus them, not inconsistently. Hey, Rizzo, good to see you. Shy, going over here in the bot side. And I think this is why we're seeing so much less of the Galio into the Rumble. Rumble has, you know, picked up stuff like the Bloodletter's Curse, which is a very, very good item later into the game. There's the Conqueror build, which you don't even need to see into the Galio that much anymore. But I do just feel like Galio has struggled to deal with the Rumble in lane. You get the initial push in, but the problem is once you hit, you know, level 4, level 5, multiple levels of that Flame Spitter for the Rumble, you don't get control of the lane anymore. The Conqueror here means that you're very much going towards a 1v1 build, and as we were saying in the draft, it does feel like the side lanes from IG end up being a good place. We do see that right now. Not bad coming through from Karis. Potential kill hit. Flash forwards. Karis needs one more auto. It'll get it. Solo kill for Karis. Onto Rookie. The Aurora starting to pop off a little. Rookie, surprising that he's ended up dropping so much here. You know, forced that flash earlier, kills him now. Good ult from Vampire will force the flash out of Mako after that root. And we were just saying, wow, the sidelines from WE not looking fantastic. Well, that's a great way to start the game for them, isn't it? It's tidy, isn't it? Join my Welsh side. I feel like there are a lot of Welsh mannerisms which the wider world do not know about it. Not even that I know much about it. Don't spend that much time around Wales anymore. Orianna back up towards that top side, teleporting up there. Did lose a plate and a wave to that tower. 400 gold lead to the side of Karis and the 2 grubs, of course. Not hitting from Q. Just realized how much I want to see Rob Brydon cast some esports. That would be wonderful, because he's the kind of person who I just don't think would understand it at all. I need to see the Would I Lie to You cast. Just casting League of Legends. Wonderful. Naga Pitak, by the way, thanks for the follow. I appreciate you. Could you imagine? Who's the guy from, like, Middlesbrough? Bob Mortimer. Could you imagine Bob Mortimer trying to do it, well, to speak about anything already is already... Whenever he opens his mouth, I'm worried about the content which comes out of it, but imagine him being in charge of a sports broadcast. David Mitchell will hate it. He absolutely would, and I would love the fact that he hated it. I'd love it. It'd be fantastic. Basically no gold lead so far. Gold lead over towards the Shy, gold lead over towards Karis, so a bit of a difference between top and mid lane between the two teams. Slight gold lead towards Gala, had that first kill earlier. Both of the AD carries about to pop their culls, and I think both AD carries have a decent shot in this game. While there is ability to shut down the Unara, if you fail that engage, the turnaround is disgusting. On the side of Taeyun, you have a good ability to follow up on the initial play. W lands onto Wei. Dragon's been started. Vampire has flash and ult. There is no flash on Mako, it's worth noting. Rookie's got his back. Vampire looking for the flash combo. Gala gets out. They're going for the big engage, but they don't catch the Unara. They don't catch the Unara, and that could be a problem. 2 kills, though, actually. Gala's still firing. Monkey, quite high HP. The Shy can't quite get himself. The full down. Gala still firing. Gets good damage back onto Karis. The Shy still firing as well. And WE, the flashy play looked all right, but they didn't catch the carries. They only killed the jungle supports. Gala flashing back from the initial engage. So crucial towards that play. Monkey is alive. And they play around not having a smite. We'll see what they secure it with. Karis waiting for that Q. Pull back! Why did you DPS it? Karis goes in with the Q and IG just don't pull the trigger. Wait for the Q to time out. Mistake there. Should have just walked forward. Dragon over to the side of WE. Mistake there from the Shy, DPSing the Dragon. If England football team had Giggs in the 2000s and Bale in the 2010s, they'd actually come home twice already. They were very good players, actually. They were very good players. So Vampire goes forwards, but doesn't catch Gala. Tries to get the, that pixel perfect engage. Keep decent taunt after. But then you'll notice just after that point that, the damage doesn't come through onto Gala. Rookie ends up living. The Shy's also pretty nasty once you start stacking up the Conqueror as well at this point. So, WE, not a bad first fight of the game for them, actually. All things said and done. They do get the Dragon off of it, which I think they'll be very happy with. Taking a slight chunk onto him, but the turret shots onto Mako, even it up just a little. You can make the clone take the portal? You can do that? Hang on, what? Excusez? Excusez-moi? Scusi? Padre, vagabonzi. The Shy 1,000 gold ahead. That is a problem. Now, they do have some ability to shut down one carry, but my problem for WE is, if your carries, if your engage doesn't catch both the Shy and Gala, you got an issue. Honestly, if it doesn't hit Rookie as well, Rookie's in a position where he can shockwave back for disengage. Not bad poke down to Monkey, actually. About a quarter of the HP down. Herald being started. IG Hang on a second. Jumping forwards to the Cyclone. Gala is caught out for a little bit, but there's... Okay, double ult again, but it's not onto the Yunara. I don't love that. The taunt from Cube not going to get in range either because there's a slow, and Gala is just completely untouched. I really think WE are not dealing that well with the carries. Mako just about gets out alive. Taeyun, no ultimate to follow forwards, and Taeyun not caught on the other side of that. Shy had roamed his way up to the plate. WE, Vampire, the second time Rich goes in for a play and doesn't catch the Yunara. That's a huge mistake from him. WE, I think their target access is okay. You know, if you have a good Cyclone, a good Nico ultimate, but they're not choosing the right targets. Choosing the front line instead, trying to take a front to back, I don't think that works here. The Shy going to start to find two people walking towards him. Double Harpians land onto Karis. Nice burn onto him. It has the pen boots. The Conqueror again for the extended trading, rather. Vampire doesn't have flash. Good route though, that'll help. So hang on a second, that's not a bad port over. Is there a Cyclone? No, not just yet. Equalizer onto the bot side, puts Karis into danger, and Vampire's gone down. Jungle support both in trouble. Mako actually going down himself though. Wait, he's got a little bit of issues on his own retreat. Can they follow up for anything more? Doesn't look like it. Karis was lucky to make it out alive in the bot side. And while all this is happening, you know, we were saying, hey, the Rumble's got a good time in the side lanes. He's done very well there, and Gala gets a free mid lane out of turret. But make no mistake, the Shy is the one that's really benefiting from so much of this. Over 1,000 gold ahead, and WE, they've not had the best answer towards side lanes this split. What happens here? So Monkey gets traded onto, walks into that surprisingly bursty part. Bot does a weird amount of damage. You can forget that sometimes. It's potent can be kind of insane. Gala jumped onto by the Cyclone, but protected a little bit by the Poppy W. And then I just think Vampire chooses the wrong target. I mean, realistically, you have to kill that Yunara. They don't have flash. You have to kill the Yunara. Big mistake from him. Now they're jumping on towards Karis. Does have flash. Good damage. I think he dies anyway. The turret's gone down too. And WE, again, they are not good about playing side lanes. Where is the jungle support to help them during this? Or where is Karis backing off from this play? WE cannot play side lanes. IG, significant advantage now. Who did that kill go towards? Was it the Yunara? I think it was at 302. Can someone who follows the LPL let me know what the ranks of these teams are, please? WE are the second worst team in Group Ascend, but don't let that completely fool you. They've taken a game in almost every single series that they've played. They've played 11 series. 9 of them have been 1-2 losses. Rookie ulted to prevent Gallia from TPing bot lane, but that was a mistake. I agree, actually. Yeah, I think actually let that go through. I think they kill him, actually. I think it's a fair play. Dragon's now up at 10 seconds. They catch Vampire. He has flash. He has ult. Will he have to use the flash defensively? Gallia ult's coming in, but again, it's not onto the carries. Vampire finds nothing in the play. He must hit someone that's doing damage, and look with all the damage they have to spare. WE, the engages in the early game have not been good enough. Q landing onto Karis. Do they have enough damage? Gala, the Arc of Ruin coming in. Taeyun jumping into the plate, trying to finish off Wade. The Smite is now down. The Cyclone's not bad either. Monkey, how much work can he do? But Gala's still DPSing. Oh, Gala Yunara. A champion player combo we are continually gaining more respect for. 505. WE try and clear up the last of the fight, and they get 2 kills on the backswing, but the initial engage is just not good enough. Vampire caught out with flash available, uses the ult but doesn't flash to confirm anything onto the carries. Big mistake from him. No, so Vampire, you know, gets the root, but he's gone too far warding in the first place. I think the flash at that point doesn't save him, but right here, surely you have to flash onto someone like the Yunara and the Rumble, at least trade flash for flash. Or, alternatively, you know, let the Nico die. I think Vampire's made the mistake already, right? Good trade there from Nico away, but they walk back into a nasty Wukong waiting for them. Monkey, credit to him, really doing the best he can in that situation. Not much you can do that. On alert for another Gala Penta today. Yep. I said something about Welsh people or the Welsh accent. I did, yeah. I'm half Welsh, by the way. It doesn't come across in my accent that much, but my dad's side of the family is Welsh. Come from Bridgend. I grew up watching a lot of Welsh rugby in Cardiff. Grandparents still live down there. Atacard is now available, and, you know, this is where games go to die. 5,000 gold lead to IG. A bunch of that sat on the AD carry. But both solo lanes ahead now. WE, their engages in teamfights haven't looked great. Their side lane plays not looked fantastic. And, well, I think their laning was okay. Didn't feel like it was enough there. I don't want to describe what I just watched. I don't want to describe what I just watched. Oh, dear God, that was awful. And it's going to cost them a team fight. Vampire haters eating good today. That guy has completely thrown this game a series of poor engages. This must have been his 4th or 5th poor engage in this game, and it's only 20 minutes in. Where is your goat now, Aragon? Tell you where he is in the grey screen. Oh, God. Well, at least Rookie Man whips the airball, whips the ult on the other side of that. Jesus Christ. A game of all time, folks. A game of all time. That's a couple go to IG. Oh, Jesus Christ. Anyone care to check on the oh, dear God, it's awful. Oh, dear God, it's awful. And the ultimate back. What a support diff. I mean, what the hell just happened? Oh, Jesus. I mean, that is why I didn't vote for him for 3rd All-Pro support, folks. That's why I didn't vote for him. Oh, God. Oh, God. You know, someone needs to take that Reddit comment of Aragon saying that 100% this team is got some of the best team play in the world and just overlay it with that clip. Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, that's so funny. I'm sorry. Not to relish too much in someone else's despair, but oh, that's a banger. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Terra's gonna go down. It will be traded for a 3-grub take of the tower on the other side of the map. It'll be an objective bounty. IG pushing in for the inner turret. Do WE stick for the inner turret on the top side? I mean, Gol is pretty good at killing towers there, isn't he? Got the BF sword, a lot of attack speed. Inner turret taken down. The Shy can equalize the other side, so while there is a, you know, 3 grubs for the side of WE, they can't do that much for WE. You are not trading that well here. The ult coming through from Karis. Cube not really getting that much done on that taunt either. They have to pull that ult to wave clear themselves. That ult wasn't there to wave clear a turret earlier. The Shy feeling much more happy about things. He's gone for the Rift Maker, the upgraded boots of the Spell Slinger's shoes. Recall from IG. Importantly, they also end up dropping a ton of wards on the top side of the map. And with Baron spawning in a minute and a half, potentially that can lead to them taking a topside play, going towards that Baron. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, Vampire. He's also missed 100% of the shots he has taken this game too, actually. I don't think... Wait, has he caught Gala once? I don't know if he has, actually. Dre wasn't always as cracked as he was. No, for sure not. I mean, I think particularly when you're an engaged support player, you're going to have a lot of fumbles, right? I mean, even someone like Carrier has had his fumbles, right? The greatest support players in the world can't escape a flubble here or two. He forced Mako's flash once. That's true. Yeah, jump towards the Shy. He does a lot of damage here, but it's not going to be quite enough. Take them out. The Equalizer not on cooldown. First death of the game for the Shy. Does take a flash from Monkey and double ults. Dragon up in 10 seconds. Now, if IG can delay for 30 seconds, obviously they can get him back in with a teleport. I don't think WE can teamfight without Cyclone. I think that... I mean, it's not bad for the side of Monkey. He gets himself a huge amount of gold from the shutdown, and that's okay. I don't think they can fight, though. They'll give soul point to IG. Monkey... Yeah, he has to leave. You know, he's used the Cyclone. It's going to be soul point to IG. Another Mountain Dragon over to them. In WE, they'll try and clear some vision around top side. They will get top lane out of turret. 3 grubs. Demolish. That'll kill that tower. Rookie won't be able to clear that. So WE not trading bad in terms of gold value in the last minute or two. And they close that gold lead just a little bit. It's now under 5,000 just a bit. 4,000 or so. Closed it by 1,000. I don't think WE can teamfight, just leave it at that. Well, they talked about that in interviews themselves, didn't they? Saying, you know, we've lost a lot of games through teamfights. Ult away from the side lane because Cupid over pushed. And now you don't have the Galio ult for your next team fight. And also, you know what? If I'm IG, I might actually start the Baron right now because they don't have the Galio ult. The Wukong ult was off for 10 seconds. They're not going to do so. Pushing out side lanes instead. Perhaps that's why I'm not a pro player. But WE not using their tools particularly effectively here. Vision control denied from them around the top side of the map. Nico can spot out bits and pieces. They'll spot that the Baron is likely not going down as it stands. Shy pushing out bot lane. Still has his teleport too. Both solo lanes do. So WE, they're 4,000 gold behind, down against Soul Points. I think they're compositionally outdone now too. I mean, I don't know, you have to catch so many people in the engage. If you don't catch the Rumble, he equalizes your landing spot of your Galio. If you don't catch the Orianna, same with the Shockwave. Garl, if you don't damage him, he's just going to shred you apart. Now you have to walk through a choke point trying to walk towards the Baron. There's no contest. W just don't contest. They're teleporting in, but they're way too late. They're well too late. 2,000 down. Shockwave onto 3. Equalizer in there too. WE playing the map poorly and punished for you. Taeyud getting to do so much damage onto it, but the damn harpoons. Taeyud goes down. WE can't find themselves into the objective. They can't retreat, and IG have blasted this team. Gala pulls the ultimate. Karoo going across the team. Cube now dying on the retreat too. WE, how much will you give up? 2 members dead. I think that might be the game because of the poor retreat. IG will march forwards, and this has been nothing but domination from Invictus Gaming. The game score between IG and WE for 2025 before this game was 11-1. IG will make it less of a binary number and go to 12-1. Very likely on this push. 10 seconds on Taeyun, doesn't have flash or ults. Karras looking for a play around the place. Vampire, his clone. Is that his clone? No, that's him. He actually took that full damage. That was a little bit weirded out by how much damage he took there. I thought, oh, the clone will disappear. IG not going to end the game on that push. You like the binary in there? Does anyone remember that one time where Bender from Futurama has a nightmare? He says, oh, I see all 1s and 0s, and I think I even saw a 2. Don't be silly, Bender. There's no such thing as 2. Oh, man. Just a poor approach to the objective. They don't really have a plan here. They don't really have a plan. There's no secondary angle. They've been forced out of the top side of the map, and IG, real credit to them, starving out Vision, approaching the objective first, and forcing W to take a terrible fight. That was a 2. You can see the curve of the top of a 2 in the corner of that scene. That's fantastic. I actually never realized that. Futurama is one of my favorite shows of all time. Turret now going to fall in bot inner. IG, 5-man unit here. We still have the Baron for a minute. 5,000 Baron power play, by the by. 2 inhibitors down in mid lane and top lane. There isn't a super minion wave. Are you ever going to defend anything, WE? Vampire on the flank, but they do see him. He's rooted into the wall! It's another airball! It's another airball for Vampire! They don't even finish him off with the initial play of it. He'll die to an auto attack! Oh, Vampire, what a terrible game he's had! GA popped. A pop ult will disengage. The Kaiser is not even there to DPS. WE have been blown apart in this first game. A terrible game from the team that's 2-10. Even Karras will burn down. Invictus Gaming doing the chores in the first game. Didn't really feel like they needed to do much else. WE can't find a clean engage for the life of them. Game 1 goes to Invictus Gaming. Folks, you've actually had great fun facts here. You've actually had great... Let's get into the game. Here are the gyros. But you come for the League of Legends, you stay for the fun facts. Here's the Silk Road in the sky. Nice. Gyro's nice and loud there. Sam saying it's a Yuzu roll, which I'm going to have to obviously consume probably after the game at this point, because casting in it. Sam, can you close the door, please? That would help, because, you know, we'd like to be thoughtful of our neighbors. Occasionally. Door closing. The game sound has gone. They have killed. This happens occasionally. Sometimes they, the actual ability sounds go off. Great, I'll let you have a break for now. I can tell you what, I can tell you one more fun fact. This one's for free because Sam did the door closing thing. What? Oh, no, okay. No, I have like 2 more fun facts ready to fire. Oh, not able to quite kill that level 1 ward, so we will be spotted there. Do you have a desync in the audio? I think we do slightly. We might need to do that. Hook lands at level 1. Maker not following up with any cooldowns himself. Leveled up that W first, you often do. Tanking a bit of that damage with the W backwards. Rookie traded quite well here against Karis, actually. Got the electrocute. Phase rush on the other side. Vampire and Tayin trying to look for that hook around the back of the wave. Not fighting for the level 2 just yet. I mean, IG are losing the level 2. Hook lands onto Gala. That could be a problem. Cleanse comes onto him. Maker dashing at Tayin just to make sure that he can't follow up. The heal comes through. Yeah, Gala and Maker were losing the level 2. Better laning phase this time from them. Could electrocute again from Rookie, actually. Down a bit of CS, but you're expected to lose, you know, a bit of push against the Talia. Often what happens is the Talia gets pushed but loses HP. That happens in most of her lanes, actually. Now, Trundle is heading towards bot side. Monkey's going to get spotted on bot side, actually, interestingly enough. Now, he's not gone for his top side camps. He's left them alive, gone bot side to bot side. Now he's there, way... Not starting blue buff, doesn't... Ah, yeah, putting down a fresh ward there. Wait, does he hold on to all of his cooldowns? I wonder if he hide... Yeah, he wants to hide behind blue buff, not start it. Spots him heading out there. Now go on to Gromp instead. Vampire and Tayin can walk up. But because Wei didn't start the camps, Monkey's not going to get that easily. Teleporting from Talia into the buff now, actually. Rookie wants to push out mid lane because Karis is being part of this big engage play in bot side instead. They'll take away a Gromp. Is Karis going to be stopped getting back towards lane? That's huge if he is. In fact, we need to look at what's happening there. Gala and Mako going to tank this up instead. The W's there. They will have some decent damage through, but it's only onto the Rel. And yeah, while this is happening, Karis took a chunk on his way back to lane. He's actually going to miss a cannon for this too. So actually, Karis down a little bit of gold. He probably, yeah, he was ahead, you know, a couple of CS. Loses the cannon there, importantly. Rookie's going to teleport back in now with a Dark Seal. Smite walks in towards Monkey. Vampire's down here as well, but Rookie's out here onto the map first to look for the Charm. Hook comes through, cancelled out by the Charm. Good damage from there. Great play from Rookie. Charm coming through, and Vampire goes down for first blood. Outplayed by Rookie. Taylor not getting that much down. Taris having to flash away. Wait, going down very low. He's going to die now. Charm misses onto Karis there. It's going to end up being a 1-for-1, all things said and done. Actually, maybe make that a 2. Mako has no summoners. The flick back is good. 2-for-1 in the early game. As Mako and Wei both go down. Vampire initially dying, of course. Rookie outplaying him. Gala's got a great wave state down here. He's now down a kill to Taeyun. Does Gala try and jump onto Taeyun as he comes back to lane? He wants to, I think. Conqueror stacking. The Gatling gun getting some good value there. Has Top Esports only lost to IG? Yes, I believe that is the case. Yeah. Report Gala for using a terrible skin. I like Arcade Corky. That being said, the new one with the eggs is quite funny. Rookie coming away from that first play with an extra Dark Seal stack, you know, extra 2 Dark Seal stacks and then the Ultimate Hunter as well. Gala misses the cannon. Ah! And he misses another 1 under turret there. And he misses 3 under turret. Gala, that's bad farming. You know what? When I play Corky, I do play Corgi a fair bit, but I do play Arcade a fair amount too. Gilga King, by the way. Thanks for the follow, appreciate you. Based on Gilgamesh, King of Heroes. So now a slight early game lead to W again. We haven't really focused in on top lane. Hasn't really mattered that much. The Shy has gone for the Bramble Vest first. Denies some of the healing from the Yorick. The Cho'Gath is an early game counter towards Yorick. Not that much later. Now, the reason why you're a counter to him in the early game is because you heal off of his ghouls, which means you get a lot more sustain compared to other tanks compared to him. And then the other thing is you can chomp the Maiden. You can kill the Maiden very quickly. It takes, you know, the flat 1,000 damage that they do. Dragon is now spawned. Rookie's actually setting up a wave freeze. Karis is not in a great spot now, actually. Now, Rookie's controlling the lane very well. Maker's now walking around the back of here. Remember, Karis does not have flash. Great charm from Rookie. One of the best RA players in the world, and his playmaking is on show there. No, see what he starts off there. Just holds the wave away from Karis. Karis is losing something by doing this. Contests the vision, knows he doesn't have that flash. Make it around the back. Rookie is a great playmaker on the Ahri. I genuinely love watching this guy play the champion. Now, Karis losing another wave here. Lost one, of course, for the teleport earlier. Losing a bit there now, too. It's not led to actually that much in terms of the actual CS discrepancy. No, that kill was given over to Wei too importantly. I think it's important because the Monkey did get the first kill onto him. At some point, I'm going to have to reset our audio. Because, yeah, I think it's been a bit desynced. Dragon's going to get started, IG. Credit to them, not taking a fight they're unprepared for. I hope so. Anyway, Wei, please don't walk towards that. That'll be very bad for you. 4 members on the Dragon from WE. No sweeper for Mako, worth noting. Could be a flash forward. No, no flash forward from Vampire, actually. That's not possible, actually. Gonna take this time to just quickly reset our audio effects. I think it's a little desynced, so we'll do that now. Rookie in a great point of power. So no one panic. 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 It will be fine. There we go. It's fine. The audio's back. We're fine. Everything is okay. See that the Shy there chomped the Maiden, so Cube's ult is on cooldown. It does count as a minion, so it's not like you get free stacks for it. Tame, a little bit of damage onto it. Level 6 hit by Gala first. Hook lands onto Mako. Good damage onto him. That's probably a kill. He does have the heal. Actually, with the shield, you might be okay. No level 6 from Tame just yet. Needs a level 6 there. There you go. First shot misses. Heal used. Second shot hits. Third miss. And Gala sidesteps the other one as well. Pantheon going down the lane. That's going into mid lane. Rookie charms it right off of it. I think he might be dead anyway, though. Chooses to die instead of playing anything else out there. Great ult from Monkey. Shuts down Rookie's Dark Seal stacks. And it's a very clean kill for him. 2 kills for Monkey on the Pantheon. Starting up the grubs there. Rookie does have teleport. I don't think he wanted to use the flash just in case he wanted to make a play just about now, actually. Two grubs are taken by WE, not the third. This actually makes it more important that Wei got that kill earlier. I think with just 1 kill difference, it's, you know, it's not too bad. Yes, the Pantheon is okay, but hang on a second. Monkey might actually be forced to... could be a smite coming in through from Wei. Does. Flash away from him. Wants to go for the kill, actually. Pela back into him. He still has that E a little far from Wei. Forced him off that play, though. And Wei's also ended up now tanking up the wave. So he's pulled it a little. Just make sure. Yeah, I'm surprised that was the play that Wei chose to make there. Not nearly enough damage there. Gala jumping onto his Tane. Has the level advantage there too. Ooh, great damage. Forcing off the wave. But there's now a... Yeah, Tane could get dove if he stays there now. Rookie looking for a charm around... The Ahri classic of the charm just around Fog of War. Around that corner in mid lane. Wants to stay out of range of that Nautilus hook there too. Misses that last minion there. Dodges the flick back. Using that W to dodge away from that. Good charm. Don't think it's going to lead to that much. Needs to be a get bit to get up towards it. Cube, a huge death on the top side. Cube dying in top lane there because Monkey was on the other side of the map and Cube did not respect where his jungler was. Speeds Monkey away. Everyone going towards top side now. They do have the Pantheon. The Slayer ult is available. This on the other side of the map. Would have to teleport in. Huh. That was a morning miss and a half. Didn't expect that to hit. Wei walking back out onto the map is now down 800 gold. That's a huge thing because it's not just the Shy that's better off now. No, Wei was behind, 1 kill to none and then 2 kills to 1. Wei is now 1,000 gold ahead on the Trundle, who's really annoying to deal with here. The W doesn't land onto Gala. Monkey doesn't force anything away from that much either. What runes does the Shy have? He has Grasp. He has Grasp. Yeah, the stacks do cover it, which is a little annoying. I can see that. Can't remember the secondary ones. Level 11 just hit by Cube in the side lane. Mako landing a stun. Reminder, WE only taken a single game of IG the entire year. They are 12-1 versus IG. Hook missing out of the Fog of War. There is a flick back from Karis available. Pillar, not bad there. Karis does have flash and has to use it. Shogat's coming from the top side of the fight. Herald started. Looking for that next flick back, the first bit of CC. They could jump onto Cho'Gath if he goes a little too far. Vampire Wester, he's quite far away now, Vampire. He's not had a great day, has he? Gonna get taken out very, very easily. Vampire way too far away. Cho'Gath is gonna die on the top side because it does damage onto Monkey before he goes down. I think without the Nautilus, I think the CC is really lacking. Flash, charm forwards. Wait, taking a lot of damage, but I think he's tanky enough, and indeed he is. Rookie, how much extra skills has he got? Has a flash, can look for the charm flash. Cube would have to flash away, I think. Monkey, maybe the target as well. Doesn't need to land that much else after. TC chain, Cube, you should have flashed. Goes down. Vampire dying so far away from the rest of his team leaves WE without any engage, and they only walk away with the Cho'Gath kill. Big mistakes from WE. Their team fighting's looked so off today, and sadly, Vampire not looking as good as he's done in the rest of the split. His first game was diabolically bad, and you look at this game here, it's been better in the laning phase. But you look how he ends up separating away from the team. He needs to be comboed up with the Talia, so he sees someone into the Talia flick back. Now, the Shy gets jumped onto, but I don't think they care that much, No, he gets a ton of damage down as he manages to get a lot of damage onto Monkey, chomps him down before much can happen, and that means that Monkey's effectively dead. We don't see on the other side of it in this replay, but Vampire dying so far away from the rest of the team, so unnecessary. Wei jumps forwards, gets a ton of damage left onto Monkey too. He has to flash out. Monkey, he does escape, but he doesn't commit that much to the fight now. Rookie's charm accuracy been fantastic too. Very fed on the Ahri. I think he is one of the best Ahri players in the world. 7 Dark Seal stacks. Hopefully going towards a Medjai's and a Leandri's. That'll be some good items to buy. It has the Merc Treads already, so he's happy to tank up bits and pieces of CC. IG have the Herald to use somewhere now. I just need to be wave clearing through this for now. Dragon spawning would be Cloud's soul point for WE. It's not a bad one to get. Particularly when you've got, you know, triple melee. Herald summon in mid lane, though. They'll charge it straight in towards mid lane. Flick back onto Mako. Not the best to target. Again, actually, Vampire's the one that has to flash out, and the Redemption heals him up quite well. Monkey now jumping forward. He doesn't have flash reminder. Vampire, doesn't he die to a chomp? That's the flick back into him. The Shy's quite tanky here. You don't think he'll survive for forever. Goes back. It's going to be Monkey going down. Mako will die too. Does Rookie still have resets? Yes, he does. Due to ultimate coming through from the Malignance. Rookie flashing back out of the flick back. It's currently, what, a 2 for 2. The charm lands onto the phase rush Talia. So they sprint towards their doom. Rookie, so good at finding the angle in these fights. Gala jumping forwards again. Is the blast going to be enough? Another charm just barely missing. Taein will die. IG walk away with a, what, a 4 for 2 fight. The charm on the phase rush target is so funny to me. The slow resist, the move speed means that they'd run just hell for leather into you. Cube will take down the mid lane outer turret. A good an exit play to that. Hang on a second. Cube could look for a potential kill hit. Instead, he's walked up in towards Gala. Has he overstayed now? I think he has. He looked for the kill onto Rookie. Not going to be able to do so, and Gala will pick up a 6th kill. This core keep is popping off in all the right ways. Genuinely, Rookie is one of my favorite Ori players in the world. I think he's minimum top 4. The flick back onto Mako is not bad, but you're using the Nautilus onto a Rel? Why is that the target? There's a 5-kill Corki stood in front of you, my dude. You can't afford to use your CC like that. The Shy didn't have the ult, I suppose, for this fight. I guess I didn't see that being on cooldown. Mako dies for this play too, but just look how Rookie ends up getting, you know, the Malignance burn onto multiple members, the Q onto 3 different people, jumps forwards again, and the charm onto the phase rush target means that Karis just sprints it into the enemy team. It's very dangerous playing phase rush Talia, Rise, for instance, as well, into Ahri at points, because if you do get hit midway through your combo, you do just sprint into them. Hey, Amber, good to see you. 10 Dark Seal stacks for Rookie now, 2-0, 2-1, and 10. He's been my player of the game. God, what a game Rookie's had. Going towards that Leandri second as we hoped he would do. Really do need that Magi's through again, though, at some point. I like seeing that item. It does make your game much easier. There is a ward onto the Atacam. This means that this will be spotted. Pantheon, however, is on the bottom side of the map. Yeah, you can see it happen, but it's a bit of a problem when you're this far away. The Shy has the Chomp. That'll be an easy secure. Pantheon's not going to be here. They can get a free stack for the Churgas because it's not contested at all. They probably should have just given it to the Shy for the free stack, but hey, whatever. Secured it anyway. Cube does get a turret in the other side. The WE well out of position on the map. Not playing the macro well today. I agree, Yorick. I agree so much. Ahri here to wave clear down the bot side. One of the other reasons why Ahri is pretty good into Yorick is that you can wave clear very effectively. Charm under the turret. He's not actually going to take the aggro. It's going to be the Maiden instead. Wait, does he have a subjugate to throw on someone? He might need to use it, and he does. There we go. A little bit of anti-heal coming through from the call it, the thingy, the thing, and the fight's going to be more important than that. Vampire, oh my god, that's a lot of damage. The Q misses onto him. Monkey, oh, it's a quad ult coming through from Mako. The CC engage is insane from the Rel. Triple kill to Gala, not to be the Penta though. Denied, a 4th kill taken by the Shy instead. WE have been humiliated by Invictus Gaming on their home stage in Xi'an. The Ignite was the thing which denied the healing, by the way. Words fail you sometimes. Push in across the rest of the map now. The Trundle doesn't really need that much help killing towers. God damn, he kills it quickly. Yep, 2-item, full level Chomp. Shy and Rookie will take themselves a tower on the other side. Sharing is caring. A lot of gold towards mixed members of IG. I mean, just the support difference in this series has been, I wouldn't say the primary factor here, but because I think Mako, you know, in this game has been struggling a little bit. The flick back onto Ahri is okay. But again, just WE just cannot find the damage onto the right targets. The ultimate this time does go onto the Corki, but there's no follow-up. No, Vampire's ultimate does not achieve anything here. He escapes, but you know, at what cost? Gala 9-0-3. 9-0-3. Ahri is dead, by the way. Did die at some point. Not exactly sure what happened there. I would imagine it was a Pantheon ult, given that's on cooldown. Might have been 2 Pantheon ults getting 2 kills into the RE this game. Yeah, it was Pantheon ult. Was it into the brush? Oh, that's nasty. Does get the charm, but didn't want to use the flash, I suppose. Would have. I actually think Rookie could have flashed. I think he could have flashed the other side of the wall there and lived. So, yeah, not the best there from Rookie. Still has 5 stacks on his Dark Seal, so still valuable. Has the Leandri's second item. Teleport. That is a teleport. He has flash. You might have to flash out immediately. Oh, there you go. Not wanting to risk that. Monkey's died, by the way. Yeah. That Pantheon is looking a little bit ancient here. A little bit decrepit. More like a necropolis than a Pantheon, really. The Shy taking some decent damage, actually. W doesn't land onto him. Way body blocks that, thankfully. I think the Shy's done his job. And while all this is happening, Gala pushes mid lane. You know, WE, they've lost their jungler. I think of the teams in the LPL, you would give Pantheon Talia over to. I think it's WE. I think earlier in the year, I think they were much better at using globals. I think that is no longer the case. I do not think they're good at playing around side lanes. I would much rather see Monkey on something tanky, something that can be a bit more, you know, a bit more of a front line. Pantheon can sometimes be that, but struggles to do so compared to earlier in the year, I feel. Karis on the Talia has not really been able to make proactive plays either. I think that W playing without tanks is just a completely different beast. Dragon is available. Instead, it's going to be an objective bounty on top side that W are pushing for. I mean, Cube's going to... Is Karis going to show? Yeah, he is. Doesn't that just give free range for IG to take inner turret, inhibitor turret, and Dragon? Perhaps they're afraid of getting Pantheon Talia ulted on the reset. Might be an inner turret coming through from W, but Maker's actually the one to go defend it. You can at least stun them under turret. This has not been a good series from W. They are better than their scoreline would say. The Shy's going to get gifted a Chomp. Hell yeah. How many stacks has he got? 9. 9 stacks for the Cho'Gath. Hell yeah. Good stuff. He is a tanky, tanky boy. You know, he will die eventually. We have seen him get blasted at points, but... Oh, by the way, it's the Collector for Gala, by the way. Normally I don't like it so much, but with the resist shred from Gatling Gun and the Collector, your lethality really starts to... Your effective lethality, because again, it's flat armor shred from your E. It's pretty damn high. It's not like anyone's built armor on the other side, is it? I mean, there's a tabby. That's it. Typically, I don't like it so much. But, I don't mind it here. Decent amount of AD. I would prefer Infinity Edge. Just think Infinity Edge is just better, but... There was a very fun Collector first Corki build. Started last year. The Shy, gets the knock up onto the Vampire. No follow-up CC in range there. 3 items for Wei is a huge problem for WE. The Spirit Visage, not just magic resist, but gives the increased healing and shielding too, which means that his ultimate does a hell of a lot. Redemption used to check the Baron. Does that lead to anything from WE? They're using the ultimate onto the Shy. They do have okay damage here. Does end up... Well, I mean, apparently not. Cube's going to get blasted on the other side. Of course a charm lands. It's Rookie. And the Shy doesn't die. Vampire just doesn't find anything in this fight. The Shy is still alive and chomps down one more. It will likely be a clean ace. WE not inviting anything in the play. 5 for none. IG clean up. Invictus Gaming will not be taking notes for this series. It will also not be taking prisoners. WE, so much worse play than the rest of this split. Every other series, you feel like they've taken a game. They've played a 12 series so far, and 9 of them have been 2-1s. Not today, though. IG sweep them off the field of play. Easy as you like. This was not a contest. This was an execution. Invictus Gaming, 2-0 on the day. IG moved to 10-3. What does that mean for the standings? Well, let's see if we get any gyros for our second series today here in Shanghai. Oh, flashing forwards, looking for the stun. They do get it. Do they have enough damage, though? I think they do. Kev's going to go down very easily for the first blood. We said Top Esports wanted to start things off with a bang in the early game, and they do so. Not even just getting the kill there. They'll also blow a flash onto Jway. It does cost them 3 summoners of their own, but that's the power of the Lucian Braum. Didn't even have the courtesy to let the Gyos finish. Why would you go Rel into Lucian Braum? Because Rel can at least W away. You lose the laning phase, but if you want a melee support, Rel is one of the best into the Braum, because at least you have a way back. You have an untargeted dash backwards in a way that no other support has. Comes with a shield as well, nicely. Oh my god, we actually get the chicken Jachi as well. Oh, perfect. Early trading. Not as bad there for Care. The Aurora is disgusting in lane, I will say. W for Jaculov. Jumps forwards, gets a little bit more poked down. Jaculov's Lucian has actually been very good in this split. I think when he started, 600 games for Kanavi, by the way. Oh, 600 games for Kanavi. What a milestone to hit. You do hit them pretty thick and fast here in the LPL because there are so many games per year, but Kanavi has been such an inspiration to so many. I think that he has been one of the best junglers of all time over his career. Remembering back to that 2023, well, even before that, you know, even on his top esports days before that, True couldn't quite jump over the Frost Bomb there. Dracula cleansing off the Ignite. You know, tried to jump the Frost Bomb, couldn't quite do so, took a lot of damage. Sheer? He's in a really bad spot now against 369. Zoned off for the wave. Is anyone coming to help him? No. So this wave is going to push back in towards him eventually. 369 wants to farm up a little bit. He just wants to deny as much as he can. He's denied the cannon because of aggro. Actually, the cannon minion taking a little while to die there. For Sheer. Meant that his cannon did more damage to the enemy wave, which means that the wave is still not in a great spot for Sheer, actually. Sheer and 369 had a lot of face-offs last year when you know, Sheer was on JDG on his debut year. Sheer, I'm really quite upset to see Sheer this year. Oh, just about stopping it with the W. Important recall stop there. Is that Jachi going to have a much worse recall. Kanavi potential of... There's no flash on Care. There's no flash on Care. Flash knockup lands. Do they have enough damage? Yes, they do. Kanavi will not take the final tower shot. Will go out unscathed. 1-0-1 on the Jarvan. This pick needed to get stuff done early, and it has done. FPX needed to scale into late game, and they've already lost 2 kills in the early game. Bot lane is doing okay, but, you know, the first kill was in there for Jaculov. Has an item advantage. Mid lane, decent advantage now too. FPX must stabilize somehow. Splash potentially over the wall. Does land that stun. But Braum puts up the shield, walks back at him. How can win? Exactly, how can win? Careful enjoying. That's a very dangerous pun you're about to make. Kanavi, my king, exploiting the lack of flash on mid lane. Talia has to be careful. Yeah. Yeah. 369 is, yeah, really bullying out Sheer here. Has lost a bit of XP worth noting. But he just wants to walk beyond the wave, deny XP where he can. He's lost some CS for it, but he does get some good XP lead there. Great ward uptime on Raptors, by the way. Of course, JJ playing for FPX. One of the big stories for FPX. Let's cover them quickly. Because FPX have had a ton of changes coming through from this year. Nope. FPX's jungle hot swap of a revolving door is as follows. They started with Sorrow. Then they went over to Shadow. Then went to IE when he left. Milky Way. Back to IE. Now towards JJ. That's 6 jungle changes coming through. JJ, last series versus BLG. Well, some good moments. BLG sloppy as always, but did manage to win throughout some pretty dominant plays from particularly Knight. JJ made one or two pretty grievous errors in that series too. Now he's up against Kanavi. JJ and Kanavi, two of the most successful LPL junglers of the recent era. You know, Kanavi, MSI champion 2023. Multiple LPL champion. Him, 369 and Hom as 2 players and a coach. One of the most successful LPL trios of all time. JJ, LPL champion. And also, a world champion from 2021, EDG. Did that with Mako, who was, of course, on Top Esports last year, too. Mako left to go join Invictus Gaming. Top Esports making some changes of their own. They'd have Crisp at the start of the year. They won a split with Crisp in winter, split 1. Switched out for Hung, going into split 3. And I have to say, Hung has actually been very, very good. To the point where I actually wonder whether Hung has been our support of the splits. I think he's been more consistent than many. He's had 1 or 2 duff games, but I think he's been fantastic, actually. Bomb fixed Hung, perhaps. Perhaps. Hey, Moises, good to see you. And, what is that? Is that a super chat thing? A subscription thingy? I'm actually not sure what that means. New member. Join a member thing on YouTube on Onivia. Thank you for that. I'm sure Onivia will be very pleased to hear that. Never really learned how the whole YouTube thingy works there. I'm just here to stream the games. Slower game so far after Top Esports' earlier lane dominance. Jachi hitting the level 6 now. Has a little bit more control in the early game from that. Grubs started. Navi using his passive onto to a couple of them. 369, is he going to track Sheer? He is, and he's going to make sure he's moving off of Vision. Jaculov healed by Hung. Jeje going into the play now too. Good engage coming through from Dway. That is way too far, and the job just disintegrates, just melts. Care flashing forward to get his damage down on Hung. Jaculov, he does have flash. Care not chasing beyond that. Quick 2 kills, and Top Esports realizing quite seriously now how badly their team plays into Rel, Trundle later into the game. It's quite early for that to happen. Top Esports now having to fight. A little bit down. Why are you fighting this? You are in a 3v5. Aurora jumping in, jumping out. Does have flash. Not bad damage there. The culling's also not bad either. The damage coming in well from Top Esports. 369. How much more has he got to play with? Jaculov going forward. This is a 3v5. How the hell have they managed to do that? Top Esports managing to see them off at the grubs. Perhaps they're saying you don't have the ultimates now. Get off. It's going to end up being 2 grubs to 1. The initial kills for FPX, strong for them. Sadly, they can't capitalize into the full set of grubs. Damn, that is a good cinnamon roll. Sorry, just eating something in the background. So this is the big engage coming through from topside. Jeje, off vision, comes through, level 6. You're not tanky enough to deal with a Rel Trundle engage. Someone's dying. Cataclysm onto, you know, jungle support. Doesn't really help that much either. So FPX, credit to him, within 1,000 gold, which, given the first 2 kills, I thought that might not be the case. I know it's only 10 minutes in, but still. Considering how badly it could have gone. Worth noting. Got the dragon, got 2 grubs. Not doing too bad, actually. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. So Top Esports, the laning phase has been, you know, decent, but not anything game-breaking. 10 CS lead in top side. A little bit more in mid lane. That one's something you do need to keep an eye on. Pew! RV, scanning some wards. We'll spot the control ward down here. Yeah, no play anymore. FPX good defensive vision. Dragon now started. Top Esports, so they figure their luck a little better here. Again, they are technically an early game team. We would like to be getting some advantages here. Giving another objective over will give that part of the feats of strength. Giving another kill would be the same for either team. Yeah, okay, so that's one marker on the feats of strength for FPX. They get themselves the objectives one. Next kill would get it for them. First turret would decide it for either team. Top Esports, I'm a little worried. A little worried now, actually. And I'm not finding early leads in the way that they want. They've lost objectives early. And now what that means is that FPX can then give up some objectives for later. No, they can give up a couple of dragons. Give up 3 dragons if you really want. Probably can't give up Atakan or Baron, sure, but there's a lot more to work with that. Culling largely on target there, actually. Good amount of damage coming through. That's the W2. Jeja coming in. Jump over the pillar from the Braum. They do have to subjugate. Kanavi. Good Cataclysm. There's no core. There's no, what's we call it? Valkyrie. Braum secured by Jeja. That is a Monster Blast Cone into the Glacial Fissure. Hung getting a great play in there. Damage coming through from the Aurora. Now comes in the Cataclysm, but he's CC'd under the turret. Kanavi goes down very easily. Care come in with a global as well. Care returns fire. Jungle for support so far. Teleport coming in from the Ornn. He has level 6. It's too far from top esports. Jackulov, he has a flash, but I do not think it will see him to safety. FPX get themselves 2 for 1, and it's only their support dying. Care even making sure that there's no execute coming in for Cream. A flick back. Braum will end up executing himself. But Cream does go down. What's that end up being? 3 kills, I think, in the bot side. Kanavi, Cream, Jackulov execute onto Hun. Sorry, folks. I'm going to have to just make sure that the door's ringing. I don't think Sam's answering it right now. I'm going to have to go get it. 1 second. Good, that comes the replay. Sam is door. The guy just wouldn't stop ringing. It's all right. I think Kanavi is having a hard time of it, folks. His early game Jarvan plays was good in the ganks, but these fights don't look great. We were saying this right from the draft, you know. It's hard when the game goes on. Turns out it's pretty hard at the start of the game too. Care good awareness to him to roam over. And I guess Hung does get the execute, so it's not as bad as it could be, but now FPX even in gold, and they're ahead in objectives. They got the feats of strength off of that too, because they got the kill in that play before Top Esports return one back. So FPX get themselves an extra bit of work too. That's quite important because, I mean, you know, the defensive boots from Sheer, Jway, and Jeje, when they do come through, it's going to be even harder for Top Esports to go through them. Giving stuff like the feats of strength just shrinks that envelope of time that Top Esports have got to play, and there's a bit of a time bomb on their composition, right? To an extent. I suppose later in the game you can always one-shot the carries, but I think eventually you're going to get to a point where Trundle, Ornn, Rel disengage so effectively that you need to find very good angles to get through to the rest of the composition. Ornn's going to be giving, you know, good items to the rest of the team. Care's going to... You know, I think Care should go towards Seraphs into Rylize as well. The HP is really nice from that. FPX in a great spot. And a reminder, folks, this is worst team in Ascend versus the best. This is our top of the top teams versus, well, you know, I suppose you've given Nirvana. It's a middle pack team, really. First versus 8th. Actually missing the cannon there. Oopsies. Herald now started up. Top Esports. They need to find a big fight, and they need to find it pretty soon, I think. They do not want to let FPX get a even stronger foothold in this game. Kanavi has flash, has ults. 369. Dodging out on some combos here. Hell's going to go down before they find the fight. Culling comes through, but it's into the back of the Ornn. It's not that much value. The Aurora onto 4. It's not bad. Hops back and forth. That's not bad. Equalizer, Cataclysm. This is the fight that they maybe need. The Ornn's coming through, but it's blocked by the Braum. 2 for 1 so far. Jarvan goes down. How much extra damage have they got? The Lucian Braum starting to rip rocket through the backline. 3 dead already for the side of FPX. This is the fight that Top Esports needed, and Chicken Jachi will hit the floor. Will be served as a set of chicken wings instead. Top Esports find a huge fight exactly when they needed it to. They couldn't have left it much later. How do Top Esports find these fights? Well, you could argue it's on FPX not closing the angle. Cream allowed to flank for free. A clump up in the river, slow by the Aurora ultimate. Cataclysm, the full shotgun. Dway tries to get an engage, can't manage to do it. Hung puts up the door for the Ornal. Of course, that'll be important later too. Forgot to mention that. Yeah, the brawl into the Ornal, of course, powerful. And Jachi runs out of damage, runs out of cooldowns, and runs out of life. Thank you for being here, always making my morning the best. Well, thank you, Andrew. I'm very pleased to hear that it's positive impact on your day. We wouldn't do it if people didn't enjoy it, of course. So I'm glad to see that people do. Dragon is alive. FPX would like to get themselves up to an early third dragon. Prepare for that soul later. Finn put it very well on LEC yesterday. Third dragon is a threat. Second's a worry. Third's a threat. Navi using the flag for a bit of vision. Get some poke down there too. Dragon started by FPX. They did get the Herald at FPX, mind you. They do have that objective to use. The objective game is in their favor. FTL top esports, though, they are at their point of power. No, the one item spikes. Before FPX get hyper tanky, before anything else. Now going off of the dragon, they've been forced off. Flick back, not filled out yet from Cat. Dragon resets. FPX realizing, actually, we don't really want any of that smoke if they get another good flank onto us. Herald in mid lane. FPX slowing things down. Top esports not able to do that much about it. Care. Wall into mid lane. Cream caught out a little bit, but not going to be caught out enough to cause that many issues. Jeje takes the Herald, and it ends up being a hearse. Dives for the play. Equalizer slowing them down. The Flamesplitter roasting him alive. Roasted chicken forces the flash out of the Corki. Hung will block another ult from the Ornn coming through, and FPX cannot find the fight they need. The Herald goes into mid lane, but it's the cost of their jungler's life. Jeje dying so quickly. Not tanky enough yet. Didn't get to cast the Subjugate. Top esports, blast them. And despite the, the first couple of fights of the game, actually going against them, Top esports claim the lead. They'll get themselves a dragon, stopping the soul point, rather, the third one, and they're well and truly back in the game. Bad mistake to drive the Herald in. They tried to pull the ult through, just hoping that it would be, enough of a distraction, but then Jeje gets blasted before he can even ult. Great accuracy from Kanavi on the knockup. Got it partway through the dismount from the Herald. The Ornn ult doesn't get much either. Even if that goes through, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. Sheer struggling to figure out what to do with that. Gets 2 flashes as well, yeah. Nice. Game sound has died. There you go. Nice, it's back. Oh, I did miss the compliment and the roast for Fairy Tail and Pinchless, by the way. So if you're still around, let me know. Ugh, okay. Cream also flashed, that's true, but I think the Aurora needs it less on the whole. Has just a million different ways to escape things. So Fairy Tail soon. Let me think. Who needs fairy tales when you can live in a reality which has Fairy Tail Mute in it? No, I don't need the stories. We've got a perfectly fine magical place right here. And a little piece of Twitch chat, and a little piece of the internet. You don't need fairy tales. They're overrated. Unless it's the actual Fairy Tail Mute in that case. Exactly what is as advertised. Sadly, what's also is as advertised as well as Pinchless. I don't even know if they're here. And perhaps it's a good thing. For those of you who are confused in other chats or VODs or whatever. If you're on Twitch, you can pay for a roast or a compliment in Twitch points. Helps pass the time, it does. Dragon to 2 grubs to FPX. Atakan is on the table, as we were seeing Vision can play around. Atakan is... Yeah. Phyrexia makes a good point in Twitch chat. Atakan throw, maybe. Always time for an Atakan throw. LPL is not a good region at taking Atakan. I think we might be the worst Atakan region in the world. Maybe. It's certainly not our specialty. Jeje jumped onto a little. Tower goes down to Cream. Helps them set up for this Atacon a little bit more, because now you can push up the bot wave even more. Stop you getting easy access from the bot side of the map in towards it. Have you seen NA Atacons? Have you seen LPL Atacons? W didn't even manage to get a game for once. They are 1-13 versus IG. We found out that the IG curse is even stronger than the 1-2 curse. Now again, controlling the choke points. Important. Here's Subjugate used early, but I don't think that's effectively. Ornal coming through. Do you have the shield in place? Yeah, they do. Yep, the shield's there again. This is why you don't pick the Orn into the Braum. If you can force it with other stuff, fine. But when you're behind like this, then, well, your engage is gone. They really need to start engaging with the Rel and then put the Ornal over the top of it. Braum without shield isn't tanky. What you end up doing is what you should do is ult the Braum with the Trundle and the Rel at the same time, kill him, and then pull the Orn after that point. Use it as kind of like secondary engage. In fairness, it was Orn then Braum. Yes, it was, but then you ended up like putting a composition in which Braum's pretty high fight into. Just picking Orn when Braum's available can be a bit of an issue. Oh, there's some very tense music in the background. Okay, getting some damage onto Hung. Use the shield defensively that time. Instead of... Well, I guess it is technically defensively if you use it on the Braum Ornal as well. Worth knowing, by the way, Braum's shield is actually Ornn's door. People forget that. The thing which is blocking his ult is actually his own front door. Pretty much. Dragon is available. No soul to be used. Jackie have taken a decent amount of damage. It's a big one from Jachi, rather. Didn't do much with it. Struggled to play out team fights even with leads recently, actually. He's been very, very fed on the Corki, actually. In recent games, but not really been able to get as much done as we would have liked from him. Dragon started by top boost, so we take it quite easily. Will they trade it for mid lane out of turret? I think so. Yeah, that'll be easily taken. FPX take that. And now, top esports, they have a plan to retake mid lane. Jackie going around the side to wave clear there. Any engage coming through? Kanavi could fly Dragon. Not sure that's the play. Here we go. Jachi, welcoming backwards. Equalizer's pretty good. And the Cataclysm not quite able to catch the carries. Forcing some flashes. Good damage coming through. Sheer, CC down. Has to flash away as well. FPX down a couple of summoners now. Hung using the heal, the only one which he uses. They do use 5 ultimates for them. That's a lot. But FPX down a lot of summoners. So top esports, wait a minute. Get the ults back. They will be at the cooldown advantage. Braum was picked after they could have banned Braum instead of Sivir. Yes, exactly. That's another point too. Especially when FPX would have liked the Sivir themselves, actually, I think. Wait, how do people forget that Braum's shield is his door, is Ornn's door? Because people don't read the lore much? Now Atakan's setup around again has been available for a while. Good flick back onto Hung. Celestial opposition down. Good damage on him. He has to, now he has to use the shield offensively, and he doesn't have it for the defense. Doesn't matter, though. Dway's gone down all the same. The equalizer is good in the choke point. FPX lose one, even though they forced it pretty well. Triple Cataclysm might cause the death of Kanavi. No, he's still alive. Chair's gone down on the other side. Aurora, good burst damage. 3 suddenly falling after the 4th. Jachi, the only survivor, and he's not going to be able to fight off the Atakan. FPX thought they saw an angle while the Braum shield was down. Instead, they over-engage, get pounced back on, and top esports sweep the fight 4-for-1. Atakan will go to top esports, a good prize for them. FPX really struggling to find the engages which actually work. They just don't have the follow-up damage. So, I mean, forcing the shield is not bad. It's a lot of Braum's tankiness, goes down very low, but end of the day, is damage just on a support. Flashback from Jackie Love means that no flickback comes in. Cream gets to come back into the play after that. And Jarvan can always re-engage onto you. His engage range is so high. Aurora's is too. It looks good until you realize that actually Braum's not the person you need to kill. Jump onto the top side now, Dway. Ah, in a bit of trouble. They can walk up and kill the turret, by the way. Just hit the turret. Yeah. Dway, I'm sorry, dude. Got no turret to help you. Goes down easily. Top Esports really have ran over this game. I thought that FPX, after the early game revival from them, they managed to, escape bits and pieces. Hang on, Kanavi is stunned under turret. Okay, Equalizer, not fantastic. Double Redemption's cast. Jeja casting the hang on a second. Whoa, Cream! Shock absorbed to bits! Has a little bit of damage left. The burn will kill him. Cream gets 2 at the back of there. 22 Magi stacks, by the way, for the bunny. Jesus Christ! You would have thought that on behalf of Aurora and Ornn's friendship in lore, they'd take it a little easy. No, not at all. Baron now the prize for top esports. Kanavi lived through that plate. They'll be able to take this one down. Early smite just to make sure it can go through, and Hung doesn't die. Top esports will take themselves a bunch of fights back to back. Atakan, the last dragon, Baron. And they'll be aiming towards the next dragon now too. I mean, it's a dangerous trip for Kanavi. Flash is out, but they have way more than enough damage with Cream flying back in. Braum ult comes through, double ult. Punts himself through the wall a couple of times to make sure he's out to safety as well. That's the impressive bit of that. I think we're nearing the end of this game, folks. Top esports, I think they only need one good fight to end things off. 2 minutes left on the Baron. Do FPX have a chance to play defensively? No one has it, I guess. Why is the Corki going collect the third? Why is that a thing? Care. Is his ult long enough to save him? He doesn't have flash still. Jeje was running down. Just completely out-rotated. Sheer on the other side of the map, not there to protect them as well. More damage onto Care. Remember, he doesn't have that flash. It's okay, turn around. The Equalizer will keep on burning, burning, burning. Jachi goes down. It's another roast dinner experience. The turret aggro has been juggled well enough. And it is a bit of circus bread and games. Top esports don't lose anyone on the bot side. Play clean rotations around the map, and Top esports are reminding us very heavily why they are our best team in Group Ascend right now. FPX, sadly, on the completely other opposite end of that. 1-12 versus 11-2. Top esports firmly solidifying themselves at the top of Group Ascend. No, this is not their hardest matchup. It's still good to see them play out cleanly. We've had a lot of complaints about our top teams and their inconsistencies. Good to see if someone can actually stick the landing a little bit more. IG did earlier in the day versus the WE. Top esports, their last series of the split after this one. Well, this is their last series of the split, sorry. It's the last one. We'll see them to 12-2 finish if they were to win through this one. Only the 2-1s lost. Jeje, some damage to Akami. He does have flash. Uses the ult. Not bad. Conjure ults in. Flick back. She comes in for the ult again. Equalizer going down into the choke point. The Rumble has died. Where's the rest of the damage? Cream. Jackalith coming back up. Now the damage has arrived. And oh god, the damage is brutal. Run! Run, FPX! Run for your lives! They get one shot out onto the Rumble. That's it. Sheer meeting a cold demise. Sheer cold in the top lane as the Freljordian face-off has gone the way of Top esports. And I think now perhaps it is time to end this victory lap from Top esports. 20 seconds on Jachi, 15 on Dway. I think they can end it right here, folks. They'll have the cooldowns for it. Care trying to wall off the minions, but not quite able to catch the entirety of the wave. A hop over. And yep, that shall be ending of proceedings from this one. Cream shotguns, Care in the face. 25 Magi stacks. Cream on the Aurora. Yep, has left them seeing the Northern Lights. Dazed, startled, blasted to smithereens. Toppies will take game one.
Game of the day. Hope I'm feeling alright. I'm feeling okay-ish, is the answer. I'm definitely a bit under the weather, unfortunately. Sometimes that is the way of things.
30秒到达战场。
Fortunately, the crowds aren't. We'll let them yell vigorously. Amber, pause. I'm going to ask you not to type that one in, Jack, because I think I know where you went with that one. Wow. Hey, Solly. Good to see you.
全军出击。
Thank you, Alex, for the coffee delivery. It is much appreciated. And, of course, we wish Alex well, as he'll be journeying to the LEC this evening to do a little bit of casting. Should be a good time. Do make sure to send him some love. So, FPX running the Galio comp, and they got all the dive tools in the world to go with it. The Varus Ashed with the lethal tempo to try and stay and survive, add a bit of extra pick. Lane dominance as well. Jachi has been very good, Varus. Had a horrible time early on in lane just yesterday versus BLG, went 0-4, then came back to do some very impressive things after a BLG patented mid-game Giga throw. He's into a Yunara early on where things went wrong, and Jackie already having to burn the cleanse. The heal also down. Ignite and Ghost from Jackie and Jue. Aggressive trading. But unlike that lane yesterday, this time the Varus has managed to get control. Jackie and Hung are just got to back away. Caught at that level 1 again. Alistair problems. The Varus has got you trapped on the tower, has got you in a shooting gallery, so we'll keep our eyes on it. Sion with the early shove into the Ambassador shouldn't be too much of a surprise. Cream with the early shove into the Galio as well. You can do things like trade your HP to get things rolling. You've got enough AoE on the Galio, but for now, so lane shoving for top esports, bot lane shoving for FPX. That means Kanavi pathing towards the top side of the map, whereas Ichurchi are doing similar things here. I have to go back and VOD review that one. Can only apologise. Either way, it has been an unusual jungle clear as a result. It hasn't really led to all that much. But just worth noting that our junglers are going to be about 30 seconds to a minute behind where they would normally be on the map, basically. Let that invade on Raptor respawn in the way that it did. Led to slightly weird timings on these resets from bot lanes and where junglers are around the map right now. Kanavi down that camp purely off the Raptor steal. We'll see Jizya. Try and drive him into a wall. Will do so. Good driving, Kanavi. Well, he gets a bit of a jump, but it's a nice option. Got Care and Cube mixed up. Oh, dear. Very different players, has to be said. Well, of course, FPX and Cube. And Care. And W. Jackie, remember those summoners, will just die to the Arc of Ruin. Great gank from 369. Flash ult, Impale on the other side gets JJ into a dangerous position. They'll get the taunt off to Kanavi, but they don't really have any damage, especially with JJ forced to retreat. Cream will ward off the Galio as well. That means Grubs go the way of top esports, including a solid gank. Of course, Sheer isn't here. It's currently clearing out on that turret. Flash away from Cream, who was really worried as... I think was wondering whether there'd be more damage coming in. I don't know if the flash was entirely necessary there, but hey. Better safe than sorry, I suppose. So, top esports with a good early skirmish there. Get 2 of the grubs. Get the kill on to Jachi. Importantly, Jackie is the one who actually secures that kill as well. Helps accelerate him towards the Kraken Slayer. How do I feel about Kraken Slayer this game? There's a lot of melees. A lot of melees. So the AoE is theoretically valuable. My worry is... you're not going to have a lot of lifesteal in this build if it's the standard build. And you are going to have a lot of people aiming at your head. I trust Jackie to be able to pilot. He's on very good form right now. That doesn't necessarily... My internet stopped working for a bit. I never felt so disconnected in my life. What to do in a modern age with no internet, huh? Good charm there. Interrupted the Justice Punch back, actually. Care ends up eating a bit of a chunk. Of course, Care, historically a big Galio player. He was finding success before. It was off and on things like the Galio to help support his junglers. JJ, of course, on the Viego. Not Viego. Vi. No strange to that champion. Of course, coming in less than ideal circumstances, to say the least. Is at least playing. Was let go from Invictus Gaming after Wei came in and started performing very well. There was some very vocal conversation from the IG members about saying, look, we're just not on the same page. We want to do different things in the game. Way into mid lane here as Care and JJ were potentially threatening with Wei. The top esports back away swiftly enough. But to go back to that story time, I really don't envy JJ coming on in. Sheer and Care in particular have had very lackluster splits. And the jungler coming in is that, what is it, the 6th change for FPX this year? 5th jungler, 6th change. Like, what do you do in a jungle position that way? What is Jway doing that? Because I actually think Chachi and Jway have been the bright sparks on this team. Jway in particular, I think, has been fantastic across the year in general. May well be seen on a better team next year. Care. Oh, he's very dead, isn't he? Driven into a wall. Has got flash. Will not get a chance to use it. Stunned up for forever. And Jackie Love has just donated a second. Has got the Kraken Slayer. And you get so many on hits. It's desperately building towards a Hollow Radiance. And that's all well and good. But, it's only Ari who's really doing magic damage on the other team. I mean, don't get me wrong. Jackie will do additional magic damage with his crits. Nymaera does get a bit of mixed damage in there, so not entirely useless there. But it ain't so simple. Likely going to go towards this Hurricane afterwards. We will keep our eyes on this Nymaera build. Fragile is the way I'd like to put it. How was the rehearsal? It was a really good rehearsal, thank you. I was learning Dancing Queen on the piano with some really, really, really good musicians who are proper pros, whereas I'm just a casual at this point. It's not casual, though. It's this little team fight around the dragon. Jackie's got the ghost, gets to back away. Flash and the hero's entrance keeps him alive. And Jackie goes down. The fragility we were wondering about comes into play. Dwayne getting a good hook on a Cream, who does get a good charm. Pull back with the flash is not enough to get the Orb of Deception kills. And Jackie flashing out to safety allows Care to come on in. And Cream and Jackie die attempting to contest this dragon. And the power of Summoners and a Galio ult gets them into a good position in this game. Well. Let's have a look at that one again, because initially, they've got loads of vision. They think they can play this. They're going to try and jump onto Jachi. Really good initial flash into the Ghost. Chains of Corruption to Naikanavi. Over the wall goes Zhe, getting 3 in space for the Galio to follow up. Dway afterwards with a really clutch flash. Honestly, very, very clutch summoner used from FPX to punish the attempted engage, despite having no real vision there. Like, that could have gone very, very wrong if Chachi hadn't flashed the initial hook, if JJ hadn't managed to get across the wall, knock up 3 with the ult, to allow Care to come with the hero's entrance. Lots that went right there for FPX and brings the gold lead back to even. They get the second dragon. Of course, they are down a lot of summoners for that play. But it's a good use of the summoners, I think it's fair to say. Yeah, and it's not necessarily always the hands that we worry about with FPX, particularly the bot lane. GG, I think, on the whole, is someone that people have a fair amount of respect for. He is a world champion, of course, with EDG back in 21. It's the map moves, the team play. Sheer and Care being very, very anemic in the mid game. It's not great at picking up resources. Of course, only a good moment. They'll need more than that, as people like Hung have been so damn aggressive on this squad in this split. Jijit just get over the wall with the Vault Breaker. Jway going on forwards. Cream looking for more, ulting from miles away to get the reset. Headbutt, pulverized, driven into a wall. And they get Jway as well. The collapse timer from FPX is not quick enough. Oh, wonderful charm! And Yunaris picks up another ult reset as well. Look at the Ari ult in the replay, because Cream isn't using his lane. He's using it to move faster from the lane. It's gap close. just charging towards where he knows JJ is going to be with no flash and no Q. It's an easy pickup. It's not used for damage. It's not used in the fight. It's used after they jump onto JJ, and JJ initially slips the hook. Do a lot of damage, but gets over the wall, and you're thinking, this is great. Dway, I don't think needs to go back there. We're trying to body block Kanavi, finding a way through, but Cream uses all 3 charges to get in range for a Q, at max range at that. Then Kanavi goes on forward, helps get 1. Still got an ult charge on Cream of getting that kill. They can look for more. Excellent stuff from Top Esports, and that's what they were hoping to do around that dragon. So this time there aren't the summoners. This time there isn't the hero's entrance. They don't manage to find what they're looking for. At the very least for FPX, though, they take that opportunity to go get the Herald. That gets them to 3 objectives early on to get that mark towards feats of strength, even if Top Esports did get the ones towards kills. That's now all on first turret, really, to decide who gets the upgraded boots. Still, gold lead to Top Esports. Objective lead to FPX. Top Esports probably favoured coming into this mid-game. Some of those summoners will be coming back up. We've still got a soul point angle in a minute and a half. If that goes well for FPX, things get different, especially with Cream missing that charm. It's going to be a big chunk onto this Ahri. Won't lead to too much more. We'll be forced to reset on a time and maybe weren't quite hoping for it, especially with the teleports. Would have liked to hold on to that. In fact, may just stick around to pick up this wave. I would if I was Cream. Immediately teleporting back in, though, so it's kind of all right there. Gets the Haunting Guy's mask. Okay, really? Quite quiet. Okay, I can up it a bit more. Doesn't sound so quiet on here, but that is fine. I'll drop it up a little more, guys. There we go. Cream will attack this turret a little bit. Get a hold on. How many Varus jokes did we make to, you know, really wind up Amber? None as yet. I'll make sure to slip some new ones into the next team fight. Important to ensure that our moderators are appropriately teased. But right now, Care, unfortunately, they say it a tease. This is just pain. Goodbye, Care. Shielded around is solid. We'll try and find an angle to maybe ult out, but I think they're holding on to enough CC here. There will be no opportunity to get out to safety. Cream gets that one. Now to the mid lane we look, though, as Varus. And JJ, using the battle arrow 369 needs to flash away, will do so. But FPX did get the turret there. It's not the first turret, but hey, Herald used successfully. Dragon now spawning. Over towards the Dragon we go. 369 down the flash. Has got no TP. Could theoretically ult to rejoin. Jackie with second item nicely completed. Hurricane coming into a very important fight here could get very interesting. Varus. Really a part of it. Oh, clean feed, not like this. Come back. Right, guys, give it a second. It's going to go black. There's the audio. Wait for the audio. Wait. Audio. Audio. Not there. Wait for it. Wait for it. There it is, audio. Fabulous, and we're back. There'll be a little stutter here as we catch up to live, I imagine. But Dragon was secured by Top Esports, and FPX weren't interested in contesting. That's fine. Oh, and JJ's dead. You're right. That'll be why they weren't contesting. We'll have a look at the replay. So he's trying to fight over this. What is he even trying to fight over? Just kind of get split off from the team a little bit. Ah, decimating smash over the wall. Ah, that's unfortunate. Nice combo from Top Esports. Now find themselves happily ahead in this game. Second item done from the Ahri, who's gone towards an anti-tank build here, really. Blackfire and Leandries for a lot of burn. I have to admit, I'm not a huge fan of this build. If you don't go pen next, but then you're not getting death cap. I sometimes feel like, yes, the double burn is nice, but it lacks the penetration to really threaten tanks. And lacks the AP to be a true threat to squishies. You end up in this kind of halfway house I'm not as sure on. It's very good at, say, like, 4 items? But I do worry a little bit here probably are going to have to go towards a Void Staff next, or maybe a Bloodletter's Curse. Then you get the triple mask. Actually, no, Blackfire doesn't come out of the mask. But incidental spells, you can play fight slow. It's not a bad thing per se. Especially if you're looking to kite around ult resets with the Yunara free firing, your double tank, triple tank frontline, I suppose, with Alistair pressing R as well. Slow fights aren't the worst thing. But I sometimes think it's like not the most efficient thing either way. One or the other, I think, is largely alright. But if you're going anti-tank, just go Leandros. And then get towards Death Cap and Void Staff early. Otherwise, you're getting them on 3-4 rather than 2-3. Not as sold on this one. We'll see. Cream, good charm. Chunk onto Dre, who was going for some vision play. Ends up very low. Forced to flash. Lock it down as well. Cream still 2 ult charges. Gonna look for another charm. Lands it onto the Galio. Headbutt. Pulverize. Atacon. Shredding a load of resist. They're gonna throw down the Redemption. Trying to get some Chunk back. But in goes the Chains of Corruption. Hung. Gonna cleanse him up with the ult. Driven into a wall. But it's onto another new target. Triple Impale. Kanavi trying to get to value. But the public execution on the backside. They've blown up Kanavi. Jacula trying to free fire. But he's still so damn squishy with this build. And they managed to reposition the fight to FPX. They'll lose 369 and Atacard is just there and waiting. 80 carry down, jungler down, and top esports split their targets. Don't have damage enough onto the members they need. And now Atacard is surely FPX's. The health bars are quite low though. Can Cream find some value here? He might be able to. 3000 HP, no ult to work with. Can try and step forwards, get some damage onto Zhe. Can't steal the Atacard, and it's a bit of a mess. Brings FPX right back into it. Didn't see the other side of the fight. I think it was a public execution that found the angle. So initially, it's a good charm. And they think, look, we can threaten this. Science not here yet. They TP in with one. Can't kill Dre, who backs away. Then they get onto Care, who also survives, flashes out. Then the Chains of Corruption, and at this point, you could probably leave it at top esports, but they go in, and it's on a third target. The Impale is nice, but again, Science still not here. Jackie gets flash cease and desisted, tries to get out to safety, but again with this build, you do not have any sustain, and all of your tanks have gone forwards the other way. There's no one there to peel for Jackie, love. He goes down, 369 falls after, and you lost Kanavi in the front line. Split targets 3 times, then have Jackie get blasted, and the fragility of this Yunara build continues to worry me. Like, this is fine if you get to free fire with no one interrupting you, but at this level of play, I just don't see it happening regularly enough. And the gold lead that was like 1500 now for this bot laner is back down to nothing. Jachi now at 2.5 items himself. He's got a good anti-tank build here with the Blade of the Ruin King into the Rage Blade as well on hit. Percent HP damage. And on the other side, look, Cream has got a big lead. That's fantastic, but now, honestly, so is Sheer, and he can threaten people very aggressively in that backside. You're also looking at Cream, who's gone towards a build that, for my money, is spikes at 4 items. Especially to a lot of tanks. That's just going to be a dead 369. Gets blasted. Jachi brings him low with the Chains of Corruption. Dragons in 15 seconds. You just lost your top laner. I think top esports may have just gone for a bit of an intercom throw. That huge shutdown going the way of Sheer. That's really put him in a great spot. And 369 is just not tanky into this comp anymore. The Black Cleaver is done. The double item spike for an on-hit Varus is done. You're not tanking for the moment. They'll get the mid lane tier 1. Come at the cost of soul point, but top esports at least get something. Hook. Lands onto Hung. Depth charge onto Jackie Love. Will force him to counter step, try back away. Dre didn't take a lot of damage for this. TP's coming on forwards a little early with that shield of Durant. He gets the 3-6 down now here. Looking for a charm is Cream. Won't quite land it, but the decimating smash eviscerates Care. And hang on, that's a member down. 40 seconds, no teleport. And Baron is spawning. They are going to threaten it. No vision control at all from FPX. How aggressively do FPX want to contest? Sending Sheer, charm goes wide, decimating smash also wide. Onto the Baron we go. Sheer with that ult. Look to find their way in. Dre can step away with the lacerate to give him enough mobility. Cream on a flank angle, no ult. They're going to try and go over the wall. The exhaust comes on down for the public execution. In danger. Knocked up, knocked around. Sheer finally getting a dance around. Jackie, it's almost danger. This time, 369 could stand and knock up absolutely everyone. They do lose Kanavi, but it's in trade for the jungler and top laner from FPX. They can't finish the Baron, but they can get some more kills. See how different it is when Jackie Love has Peel. Much, much harder for GOJ and Sheer to blow up the Nymaera exhaust. Double decimating smashes, the pulverizers. Kanavi dying means they can't realistically do the Baron, which would have been the real aim there. But hey, you date what you can get. Ends up being a 3-for-1 effectively with Care's death beforehand. They pull the Vi and Bessa combo. The cease and deceased combo. Cease and desist and public execution. You see the play on words there. But headbutt, pulverized, double decimating smash keeps Jackie alive. The redemption afterwards, he's still got the ult rolling. Kanavi did die, of course, to the combo of Jue and Jachi. And again, the smite and inventory from Jue, courtesy of Spellbook, makes it a little too challenging to step on forwards. But hey, AD carries now matching. Medjai's completed for Cream to try and snowball for 10 snacks. It's got an arm guard as well. It's a pretty fed Ahri. Even if the build I'm a little ambivalent towards, for all I do love the Medjais and the arm guard this game to be able to make a lot of plays and survive the burst heavy combos of FPX with their CC chains in particular. If you can break that, get an opportunity to flash or ult away. Some value in that. But is delaying Void Staff. Is delaying, say, a Death Cap. I think the Medjais can mitigate that somewhat. A sort of cheap AP ramp. Especially with the 10 stacks for mobility. Jachi's also hit 3 items, though. Infinity Edge being done for Nymaera means she hits very, very hard now. 74, what was that, 50% crit? Plus a lot of attack speed means you do get, with a couple lucky autos, a lot of spread damage with the Cultivation of Spirit. Chains of Corruption onto Kanavi means he's going to take a lot of damage. He's not tanky! Split apart by JJ. Cease and desist. Cream will ult away. Hong trying his best to go unbreakable. They lose the front line in a matter of seconds. Phenomenal CC chains. Public execution into the backline. Flash Vault Breaker. Jackie flashes out, but she just gets to keep trade count stepping. It's 4 for none. And FPX can turn towards the Baron. This time the CC chain from FPX is too brutal. And the front line is not tanky to this kind of onslaught. The Blight stacks ends up being too hefty a weight for Kanavi to bear. We'll have a look at the replay in a second, I am sure. But initially, the Chains of Corruption are good. But then, JJ with another wonderful ultimate. See how many people are disrupted here. Jachi will threaten the Skarner, who goes driving forwards into the mother of all roadblocks and is immediately plastered into the ground. Knockups from multiple positions. Hero's entrance. Depth charge. Jackie tries to stand and deliver, but at this point, you're going to see a really good public execution into the Flash Vault Breaker. Jackie tries to flash away, but you can't get away from the Ambessa with all of this move speed and the flash to her name. It's an LPL gold grab. We're back to life. A lot was burned in that last play. Dwayne now in danger. As Jackie gets to transcend himself, the death charge will surely not keep Nautilus alive. Charm onto JJ, gone again. Pumping execution to the backside. The Impale goes wide creep. Trying to ult away. So tanky with all of those charges. Does go down. Sheer got a lot of energy, but not a lot of health. They will blast another. All the while, though, Jachi with a wonderful flash forwards just stands and shoots them all. It's Robin Hood territory. They are the poor, and they're stealing from the richest team in the league, 11-2. Suddenly blinking, going, what the hell just happened? We've lost Soul. Watch that flash again. Jachi, maybe he's had a love to his name. Show Jackie, it's really done. It's a really good flash in a second or two. Initially, it looks really good for top esports. The turnaround is great. Dway ends up going very deep for this and gets blasted. Watch Sheer in a second. As Cream ends up getting blasted, Kanavi missing that ult, really problematic, and all the while 369 cannot stop Jachi in a second, who ends up in a really good position. The passive gets rolling, flashes forwards to claim another, out of the way of 369, gets behind the front line of Care. And just look at those damage numbers. Both AD carries trading, but look, the sustain, the auto uptime with the passive from the Varus rolling. He can hit the grunts. The exertion from this AD carry. Required. 4 items now. Infernal Soul, Baron, Attica, and FPX at this point. This game should be theirs. Some heroics from Sheer and JJ to threaten Jackie multiple times, but the carry in these last few has also just been Jachi, who on this Varus is now 10-2. Another Vamp Scepter in inventory to just try and heal his way through. And Jackie will not win the DPS wars because he'll just lose more HP. They'll try and jump in, transcending themselves. Redemptions! Cream tries to get an angle on the Jachi, who's still getting to stand and fire. Where's the anti-heal required? The piercing arrow. Charm landing, trying to get some more value. The hero's entrance not onto Jachi. He goes down to the GA, the Arc of Ruin. Orb of Deception. They blow up multiple members, and when you think it's over, it's just another twist and turn. Top esports just won't give up, will they? It ain't been clean. The Baron's still positive. They still got Infernal Dragon. But reminder, there's 40 seconds on the majority of the team. They can break the base here. Infernal Soul and Baron be damned. That time, Jachi didn't have the summoners. The story of this game often has been, do FPX have summoners to play with? If they do, they've often used them so well to keep Jachi alive and threaten Jackie in turn. This time, they didn't. Cream has a really good flank angle here. The Impale is solid, but Jachi, standing and delivering, ends up kind of split apart. Try to auto away, but Cream dodges back. Kanavi flashes away. Jachi hit by the charm, is caught in the GA, and all the while Jackie Love isn't touched this time. If you want to know why Flash is the most valuable summoner spell in League of Legends, this game, these AD carries are going to show you why. 11-4 versus 10-3. When GAs are down, when Flashes are down, things get real dicey. When they're up, there's going to be some montages after this one. It should still theoretically be FPX's game. Off the Infernal Soul, off the Attica, off the map state being playable, right? They didn't lose an inhibitor despite getting near enough aced in that mid lane. Cream's gone and sold as Medjai's actually. Building towards a death cap now. Breathe, folks. Not sure we're going to get much time to do that shortly. Check out that timer in the top left corner of your screen. Ticking down towards Baron spawning in 15 seconds. FPX are the ones in the river there first. There's the build order. Q into E into W. Standard stuff. The double Zhonya's is actually arm guard into Zhonya's for the record. Keep your eyes on that one. It's basically saying they're getting the active and coming back in. Jackie with the GA. It's a lot harder to bring down now, actually. Redemption and Knights of Hour on Hung as well. A lot of tanks and CC to keep them alive, and it really has been. Which AD carry gets to peel, not get isolated, because there's been a lot of attempts on the AD carry's life. Successfully and unsuccessfully. Sheer on a very deep flank is now a known quantity. Nice idea. Doesn't really work out. Care looking for a taunt on the 369. Won't find it. Cream now looking for his own flank. Sheer with a GA. Sheer with a GA. Jacky's not quite up yet. 30 seconds on Elder. Into the backline. Cease and desist. Jacky's in danger. Hero's entrance. Jackie flashing. Gets some autos. Konami down. He's just not tanky. Knock up onto Jackie. All the while, though, Jackie's also down. AD carry traded for AD carry, but Konami being down as well is important. Cream with an ult charge to work with, but the man advantage is FPX's. Flash is down wherever you care to look, but Top Esports will have to contest one of these Uber buffs. Down 2 key members, including the Smite. And I think that means FPX will be picking up this Elder Dragon. Corn, Cream, no ult. 369 is already here trying to body block, trying to get some value. But the Elder Dragon's not the scariest objective to take, all honesty. About to get secure, and I think it might just be the ace after 369 has to flash away. The Elder secured and the burn now in. They can't contest. They don't have the damage. Now they might have to try and fight around this Baron. Down the Elder Dragon will look again. Because it starts with GA going full send onto Jackie Love, who's got a GA. They do a decent job of peeling for him, all things said and done. 3 members come careening in with their ultimates. Back out of the GA. Jackie goes down with a really good combo from Cream and 369. The problem is after the GA spawns, the rest of FPX just go flashing on forwards. They've still got their GAs to work with. And Kanavi gets blasted. He's just not tanking this game. Now the Elder after. Arm guard. Arm guard. For Jackie Love last. Sold off the GA. Does get some decent AP scalings. GA's back up for Jackie. Has also got a Mercurial Scimitar. Elder on for an amount of time. I think it's a minute. Minutes seems to be the case. About double that for the Baron. That realistically means at least an inhibitor down. They could really aggressively shove this here. Trying to clear out the minions where they can. Flash away from Kanavi. Chains of Corruption also wide. But 3 GAs on FPX, 8 lives to work with. And the hero's entrance. Hook. Still going to keep playing this one. 30 seconds still on the Elder, and 369 is immediately blasted. GA1 down, but the damage back is just not there, really. And the Elder Dragon will scream defiance. Bomb plus Phoenix. Pick up the powers of another mythical beast. And despite the back and forth, despite the early game, they are the one with Soul, Baron, Elder. And bring us to a third game. Unreal. FPX or what? 1-12? 11-2 on the other side. Game 1 was close as well. And look, you can mock Top Esports here. There's probably some things to say. Like, look, they got a bit blasted by Kanavi just not being all that tanky, bluntly. Where is my... Is it this one? No? Well, we do want to bring that up anyway. We can do that. Where is my super suit? Ah, it's this one. Hello, folks. Good to see you all. But, yeah, I mean... There were some really good fights from there in Top Esports. But again, for me... There were some issues in builds here. I don't think Leandri's Blackfire's met Zhonya's is a great build on Ahri this game. Like, Leandri's is fine, but then you want Deathcap and Zhonya's or something like that. I think kind of doing Blackfire as well is very greedy. You don't have the pen. You don't have the AP to empower either. Not sure about that. Cream being so far ahead, I think the damage numbers aren't going to be fantastic from Cream this game. Not relative to that amount of gold they got. I think Jackie went for this Kraken Slayer build. That's great if you're untouched. When on earth are you ever going to be untouched this game? Made life a lot harder than I think if you'd gone for a Blade of the Ruin King, Phantom Dancer type build. Into a fair amount of HP stack as well. On the other side, I love the builds on the whole. From you can get Death Cap, and then you can get Zhonya's and feel alright, but I think you end up spiking way too late for what you're trying to do. And then credit to, actually, JJ and Sheer continually making Jackie Love's life hell. Like, it wasn't one-sided. There was some good plays from top esports. They made some good moments, but the Atacon throw where they split targets too much. The play here where Jackie gets blasted is really not fantastic in its own way, right? Like, their front line was surviving for ages with FPX's, whereas top esports, the Sion and the Skarner, were getting blasted by this on-hit Varus. Hey, Lion Man, good to see you. The composition of FPX is to cover the Varus. I mean, yeah, it is. It's also to make sure that Nymaera has a miserable time. Loads of dive. And in fairness to Jachi, like this fight here, watch the man's... the flash he gets in this fight is so good. Jachi just gets to stand and deliver, flash forwards, gets onto Jackie, gets that one down, the taunt onto Kanavi, who gets blasted by the piercing arrow. Really good stuff. Okay, let's do the... So,
全军出击。
Gyro's done. Let's chat Qiyana a bit more. She clears incredibly fast. Is step one. Very, very fast. And especially once she goes to get... So basically what happened is her W in particular got a 10% buff to attack speed at all ranks. So it used to be 5% attack speed with a W at level 1. It's now 15%. It is pretty simple. And that in particular is why we're seeing a lot more of her jungle. It's been hanging around here. She's been on the verge of making it to jungle for a while. But this is a big, big deal. Because it means she's scaled insanely well. And my days, there's a statistical advantage there. That's quite funny. The mid game, when basically one item on Kalista, Qiyana, Aatrox could prove really, really dangerous. There is a window at level 6 to 7 where Renekton, Poppy, Xin Zhao can retake over the game, and if the Kali gets rolling, FPX have a way to outscale and blow, or like just to hit the point where side lanes become nightmarish. You blow up people, they don't get to reset, and things are good. But in extended fights between Bailout and Kalista hopping around for Ren kills, Ryze doing Ryze things, Aatrox resetting on ult, big ults from Kanavi on the Qiyana could be really, really dangerous, because there will hit a point where Qiyana becomes really annoying for the Xin Zhao to deal with, because you can't crescent guard the supreme display of talent very well. it's very easy for Qiyana to get inside your Crescent Guard and blast you. And if she's using her grass-empowered Elemental Wrath, the Edge of Ixtal, it's pretty nasty. So there you go. 305 or so done on the clear. A little bit slow, but more than fine. Can now look for an invade. Can look for a dive. Nastiness. Poppy this game could be a little annoying though. Messes with Kalista very well. Kanavi quite well on this Qiyana. Can mess with the Aatrox. Basically everyone not named Ryze and Renata. The one thing we don't really have this game is tanks. Poppy's kind of that. Renekton and Xin Zhao can be tanky via being bruises, but that's the same of Aatrox, right? Sheer's actually not having fun there at all, by the way. Oh lord, flash early. There's a flash Deathbringer's dance angle here. Kanavi's going mid. Care needs to be really aware. Gets a decent chunk there. Forces the flash. Kanavi, good combo there with the Terror shape into Edge of Ixtal combo. Forcing the flash off the shove. And the other thing we're seeing is Ryze got the priority into the Aatrox. Early on, the Ziggs is farming okay, but double range means you're still getting shoved there for this Kalista Renata. Kanavi clearing so fast to be able to make more plays like this on repeat. Already back out with the dirt. It's probably going to be something like Hubris or Ghostblade on Kanavi first. Heal, looking to chunk back out. Dwayne needs to be careful as the Renslow comes on down. It is still heal pop from Hung, but hey, Spellbook is a thing. They know that JJ is bot side. So they probably don't want to overplay this. Qiyana counters Xin. It's certainly playable. You scale better, you farm faster, and you can mitigate his ult really, really well. Xin Zhao still be able to scale through, but you just get to do this kind of thing. You have a lot of early damage at the minute because you've got some increased scalings. You've had a lot of increased scalings for a while. You clear damn fast is the main thing. And you have a lot more AoE than a Z, but you're less safe than a Z. You still have issues of sustain with Qiyana that you do elsewhere. But realistically, as you're a jungler, you get red buff, you get to heal off camps. It's much less of an issue. Much less of an issue. So I think of all players, Kanavi on this should be very, very scary. We have seen, though, at TES in general, very reliant, as that's a flash over the wall to skip vision. I think 369's about to get dive. Should get 6 theoretically off this wave. Is he going to be given the opportunity? Has a flash. Dive's about to come on forward. Tries to get level 6 off the wave. Charged into the wall and just dies. Can't get it. I get the attempt. Well, the combo comes on through an FPX. Pick up first blood. Good flash from Dway to get across and around vision. Very clean dive. Leaves Jachi a little alone in this bot side, though. And the Ziggs is really not having fun. Neither is Care. It only evens up the gold at the moment. But I do love that Dway is being very decisive on that roam, making the play. Getting something in the early game, because as we are seeing, the early priority from mid and bot is causing some issues. And Kanavi, at some point, I worry, is going to start taking over in the jungle a little bit in terms of the farm numbers. Ooh, Cat, remember, doesn't have the flash. Needs to be a bit wary. There is a flash room prison angle that might lead to a dead Akali at some point, especially without Shuriken flip. JJ now coming on down. There's an angle here, actually. Ooh, gets him. Was trying to bait for JJ. Gets hit with the overload. Through the Twilight Shroud and dies. Ouch. Is first strike the right keystone for Qiyana? Very much so. She wants as much gold as possible, as fast as possible. It gets her access to free ass boots. It's upfront burst, which he likes. Steal it. Yeah, it does. Oh, supreme display of talent. Still at the level 5. JJ is now in danger. Got themselves the empowered W as well. JJ down at half HP. TS roaming up. JJ needs to be really careful here. Would get 6 off this Gromp. They're going to try and come on over. They do get the Gromp. Poppy gets the W down. Jackie low. Does have bailout running. Care looking for an angle. Would like to get a public execution. Great route. Courtesy of the ice empowered Q. Elemental Wrath doing its work. The Edge of Ixtal is a cutting one. We'll have a look again. This is the solo kill. Spell Flux into Overload. Spell Flux into Overload. W. Is it going to be another EQ? You bet it is, guys. Say it with me, folks. E. 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 U. Actually, does actually land the root to make it point blank. I think it's EWQ. Oops. Still, aggressive invade from Ganavi gets him another couple camp. Pull back onto Jatch. He needs to satchel, but loses half his HP bar. Cream's going to force a flash. Ouch. Ganavi now looking. Has a supreme display of talent. Not back up quite yet. With the Wreck tricks in inventory, I'm pretty sure this is going to be a Ghost Blade. But move speed this game that isn't tied to dashing valuable into a Poppy. Grub number 1 secured. Tweezy's now looking for a flank. Here comes the Realm Warp. Shunted into a wall, though. Hung goes low. Bails himself out. Didn't get involved as Jackie's dead as well. Oh, boy. Sheer at level 7. It's Renekton Power Spike. Great shot into the wall from Dway. And they blast the bot lane. I want to see a replay there. It ends it with Care with a kill. Sheer getting a lot of value. Oh, the Supreme Display of Talent. JJ does not get to find a way out. Rune Prism Supreme Display of Talent at least gets top esports a kill back. And it's a second one for Cream. So, they want to look for this, but it's a really good shunt into the wall. And all the while, into the backline goes Care, goes Dway, goes JJ, and they get blasted. They don't have Kiana ult up quite yet. Does get that third kill on the board for FPX as well, which is nice. Good fight from them. But this is when they need to make those plays work. Remember what we said in draft. Level 6 to 9. Using the power of your Shinzao, your Renekton, your Poppy to try and get snowballs. The problem is that Akali getting blasted in lane was really problematic. At least she does get some gold from the kills. But being down 40 CS is rough. This happens to Care sometimes. And have been looking ugly for Sheer as well. Remember, he blew Flash very early on, but the dive and those kills have now rescued him. He's ahead of this at Aatrox. 369, a little bit more awkward from him, has to be said. Does have Flash. It's just got Public Execution. Ganavi's blown the Ghost. Goes looking for grass-empowered Edge of Ixtal. Dragon in 30 seconds. And I think top esports would like to play for it. Diana's got her first item nice and early here. We'll probably want to reset here, having quite a lot of gold. Still got a health pot in inventory. Oh, Dway! Handshake. Stun up next to the Supreme Display of Talent. Hostile Takeover just wipe. And the Keeper's Verdict. Keep Dway alive. Does burn the Ignite. Does need to blow quite a lot there, but it is Hostile Takeover and Supreme Display of Talent down. Dway forced to reset and isn't going to be able to get that recall off on a particularly good timer. It should still be Dragon for top esports. Good chunk onto Care. Who is going to be forced to reset. Cheers around. But the health balls on top esports a lot healthier. Poppy not here. Doesn't have ult. It's going to be Dragon top esports, even if it's not the kill. Chunk onto Sheer. Very good chunk onto Sheer. Does burn the Dominance, but 369 can burn his own. Theoretically will now get that World Ender out. Pull himself back up. Didn't really lead to all that much. Still capped if in the end. I think if Hung had timed his hostile takeover a little better there, that would have been a kill. It was a little bit lackadaisical and let Way get out of that one. Still, it's a win for top esports. Sheer chunked. Remember, doesn't have the ult. Found the way behind again. Burned the Ghost to make that happen, but the wave's nowhere near this turret. With Hung around, would have been very difficult to get that kill without a bailout coming on forwards. Slight lead, actually, towards this Ziggs. He's managed to pick up a kill. Stay even enough in the farm. News for the Ziggs, he's gone towards the burst build. It's required, I think, this game. Lots of squishy members on top esports, it must be said. But Cream being this ahead is a little alarming. Kanavi with the second Dirk as well. Might be just saying, yeah, you really need to build some armor this game. It's going to be a bad time. But who really builds more than steel caps this game? Pompey, I guess. Maybe the Shinza, but even then, really want Black Cleaver or Stacks. Bruiser items, HP items, not really armor. Maybe get away with the Randuins or Deadman's later on, but it's really what you call common on Shinzao. Navi goes to look to steal. Those Qs do actually do quite a lot of damage at this point in the game. Doesn't want to overplay it though.
防御塔构层即将脱落。整顿排人。
Auto mob catching it there. Don't worry, I got United Frogs. Bit of a chunk there from Sheer. Worth known, of course, 369 gone towards the Sundered Sky. Rather than completing the boots as yet. Jackie getting chunked quite heavily there as the poke now does begin to hurt from Jachi. Good chunk. On to Sheer, who'd love to get that Empower Q. Gets it a little bit onto the wave. Not too much more. There's another level 11 actually for 369, who despite getting dived is still doing a decent job keeping up XP. So whether Renekton scales so hard to FPX or into TES, yes. To an extent, I think Ruthless Predator value of this game will just always be high. I think Aatrox can manage you. I think Bailout can be really annoying. You can get stifled by the CC lock of a Handshake into a Rune Prison, into Supreme Display of Talent, into Aatrox Qs. There is that one, but if you do get on top, if you do get to brawl with the squishy members, you can blow people up this game quite heavily. 2-item Renekton can actually just be a bit of a win con from a good flank angle, but Kanavi could just do this! Oh my days, that was close. Flash out from Kanavi, as they'll still be able to turn that around with a Handshake, and they've run out of defensive tools, and they get the kill regardless. Hung has to blow the flash in the heal, but they do get the kill they're looking for, and Cream will just force Care off the wave. That is a 50 CS lead in mid, by the way. Isakali from Care is not happy. A lot of this gold down is purely off individual laning. It's gone into Twilight Shroud. Well, I'll have the Shuriken flip, but oh my days. That is tough. Did top esports even secure first spot? It's got to be close to. This game win might even do it, you know. I'm quite sure where things are at on that front. If the Ziggs or the Akali gets shut down, things might get interesting. Yeah, somewhat agreed, Mech. That is going to be part of the win con, because again, top esports, despite the kills being even, despite being down, the early kills and all those kinds of things, are up 2,500 gold. Majority because jungle and mid are just out farming their opponents. The Kiana, that's somewhat expected. The Rise of the Akali, that's just Care having a Care moment. He doesn't lose gracefully, does our Care. See Care Bear games on occasion on Annie. Navi. Not truly threatened. JJ's going to start what up. Would strictly be soul point. Knock up, but traded with the Rune Prison. And JJ's going to have to Crescent Guard real early as the exhaust comes on down. Mega Inferno Bomb will be traded out with the Redemption. So Jackie back where they started. Realm Warp. Kanavi can lurk for a supreme display of talent. Care is low. Jackie does get traded, interestingly. But look at the health bars on FPX. They're so desperately low. Another Rune Prison. Oh my days! The Keeper's verdict denies 3 members. And will extract FPX from what was looking like a horror story. I need to see how Jackie died there. He had flashing cleanse and died somehow. We have got a slight issue with the clean feed. Give it a moment or two. Wait for the audio. Wait. Wait. There it is. Dragon secured. Here's the replay. So initially, Cream just goes man mode and goes, JJ, you cannot do this. I am 2 levels up. Exhaust comes on down. The Crescent Guard is a panic button. Jackie gets healed back up, and they think they can do this. So what happens to Jackie? He just gets blown up. All right. Jackie lands a Q. Akali perfectly executes. The Supreme Display of Talent looks damn terrifying, but the Poppy ult saves the game. At the very least, they do kill Jackie, so it ends up being the 1-for-1. They still lose the Dragon. They still lose Soul Point. It is still a win for Top Esports. But if there was a win con, it is this Ziggs becoming such a menace with the poke that you do blow people up when they go for these big plays. Because again, Top Esports have many things. Mobility. Crazy target access with things like Realm Warp and teleports. All these things, and that's fun. But they don't really have HP. Got a Pseudo Bruisery Rise and an Aatrox. But it's still going to be Top Esports exploding the mid game when we said they might. The farm league continues to balloon in mid and jungle. Edge of Night now done for Qiyana. And stopping her initial burst. Very tricky. Like, yes, if this was lane, if this is standing around objectives, you've got tools to blow it. Ziggs in particular, fantastic at blowing Edge of Night. If she's coming from out of nowhere, your panic CC is much less likely to stop a Qiyana. Question for the class, because I'm not sure. How does Edge of Night interact with Poppy's Steadfast Presence? Because I actually don't know. Does an Edge of Night stop Poppy W from working on your dashes? I genuinely don't know that interaction. Way needs to be a bit careful there. Does manage to speed himself away. He's alright. Herald in mid. Cream on a flank angle. Kanavi on a flank angle. The talent might well be displayed. FPX back away from it. It should. Okay, Mr. Pello. Just to clarify your meaning, it should save you from Poppy W. Okay. Potentially a very, very valuable pickup then from Kanavi. If it means that his initial Shire surprise play comes out well then for the record, Mr. Pello. Very high elo, AD carry main. Often very on the ball when it comes to builds and itemization. So generally a trusted source of information here in the camp. FPX is bleeding, yeah, for sure. I'm not sure, but I think Poppy wins out in the event because it's not an ability activation. I genuinely don't know. We'll keep our eyes on it. I'm not sure on that interaction is the honest answer. Still, either way, I think it's valuable into a burst comp. That extra ability denial can be very valuable. 2-level diff in the mid lane. Cream's gonna nab this Gromp, and that'll bring him back up the 2-level advantage. There it is. Oof. Care is so anemic this game. Dway's got Redemption as well, and as a level 8 Poppy, you are not tanky this game. Celestial Opposition It basically involves Jachi surviving the play. And the squishy members of top esports still being taken low enough by Sheer, by Care, for the Ziggs to carry the back end with the Shins out. Baron still gets that tier 2. 369 becoming very challenging to deal with on the side. And the problem is, again, this Rise is just so terrifying. And like, you're sure Yukari's got a couple items now, but can't, in a 1v1, do all that much. 3 levels down now. Jackie's been a bit of a passenger this game, but that's somewhat fine. Opportunity gets really scary now for Kanavi. A first strike combo with opportunity empowered supreme display of talent will really sting. I'm going to trade out there. I don't think Cream can be far off a death cap, by the way. Could maybe go Shadowblade this game, honestly. Wouldn't hate that, actually. I think death cap's probably more valuable. Yeah, Dwayne just got completely blasted, and that's all of your wards. Basic combo from Cream. This time, FPX is going to have to come in very, very dark. Death Stance done for Aatrox. Jack Show for Jacula. Bit tankier in general. I think that's probably quite sensible. Yeah, Kanavi still stings. Just a bit of poke, but getting where you can, where you can. You've got less poke than a Zed. You're a bit more all in there, but you've got a lot more AoE. That can be valuable. GJ goes on forwards. Hung. Pulled back with a face call. The hostile takeover is solid. Supreme Display of Talent! Care in the backside. Could probably blow up Hung, but they've already lost 2. Make it 3! And Care cannot find anything. The perfect execution. Well, it's his own rip. Flash over the wall from Care as Jachi will satchel out. Won't get killed. Oh, but Kanavi. What an incredible ult. Pins him against the wall. Cabadoned by the Empress of Ixtal. They all blush and fall over. Yeah, all right. 3-eye to Kiana. That'll do. We'll go back to Dragon. Soul secured by Top Esports. I demand a replay. In another world, Care coming in with a flank could have been a genuine threat. Hung initially caught out, but is he really? He gets the exhaust out into the hostile takeover. Into Fate's Call. Supreme display of talent. And they're overloaded into the dirt. Oh. And Jachi goes, yeah, I need to leave. If you don't have vision control, the Kiana will keep doing that. She's got a Serpent's Fang now. The Seraphs and Sterax. Poppy passives. Going to be increasingly difficult to deal with. Baron again. Oh, Supreme Display of Talent. JJ's gone. Goodbye. A lot of talent on display here. Kanavi's unlikely to get MVP this game, I suspect. It's him or Cream, and I think Cream on the whole has been the more lead out. Realm Warping. Bailout on top. Chachi dies for the first time this game. And it will mean surely the end of it.
Blue team has scored an ace.
The realm they have been transported to is a higher plane. One where Top Esports will claim their 12th series win. 12-2, they will be on the scoreboard as FPX languish at 13-1. They had a couple competitive games. They did truly. They won game